Where is that graphic? Where is that graphic? Let's see. Because they're no longer on TNT. They're on TV in general. You got me, man. Okay, yeah. Let's go through this thing. Let's go through this thing, right? Let's play. We're streaming and we're recording, but we're not live on the show. So this is like the pre-show banter. So this is exclusive content that if you're streaming this show, then this is what you're getting, baby. Yeah, this is we're not the show hasn't started, but we are almost ready to go.
Currently nothing's working because it's not loading for me.
Oh, that could be part of it. All right.
Wait a second.
I'm waiting. This is we're not the show hasn't started.
Okay.
We are.
I need to hear me.
Beautiful. Almost ready to go.
I need to hear me.
Nothing's working because it's not loading.
All right, we're
beautiful.
Good. We're good.
AEW on TV. The only bracket that matters this month is best AEW theme song. You and I already know the winners.
Obviously. Yeah, I mean,
obviously.
I don't even know why we're doing it. I'm just kidding. This is fun.
If we learned anything from the New Japan Cup bracket, it's that you and I really enjoy bracketology.
Love bracketology. We're gonna do bracketology for Stardom Cinderella.
Oh yeah. When do we do that? Is that next week's show?
Next week, yeah, because oh my god, bro,
it's a fucking baby.
That's what we needed. There's this random gif of Hikaru Shida winking at me. It's actually terrifying. It's like it's the first comment on this picture, and it just doesn't. I can't get it to stop. All right, go.
All right, so. The show hasn't started yet, but Scott and I were talking about the AEW Best Theme Song tournament bracket that that AEW tweeted out, and we gotta go through this, man. We gotta go through this because you and I know exactly what the winner is, but we gotta figure out who's at least number 2.
Yeah. I need to see how we get there.
Yeah, so we're gonna start off left side of the bracket. Adam Cole, Darby Allin. Tough matchup already, I think.
Man, what are these matchups? I'm looking at some of them, and some of them are like no question. It's not even close.
Oh yeah,
but
that's your 16 seeds versus your number 1 seeds, right?
Yeah, well, that's what this is supposed to be, I would think.
All right,
because at the top.
How the fuck do I mark up this?
I'll probably go Darby.
I'm going Slight Darby too.
Slight edge, even though I do love the boom.
I love the boom, but the boom is repetitive, while Darby's. Darby's is just, an all-time classic, solid song.
Yeah. All right, cool.
Red Dragon, the Young Bucks.
I'll give you the reason.
Whoa, I'll give you a reason.
Probably that one, even though I do love the Super Kick Party.
Super Kick Party is also slightly repetitive. I'm noticing I like real songs.
Yeah, Red Dragon's theme song's also just great.
Yeah, Red Dragon wins.
Oh, come on.
This is a tough matchup. Lucha, I love me that Lucha Bros song, but against Bryan Danielson.
Yeah. Bryan Danielson wins. Not even question.
Not even question. Omega versus Eddie Kingston. The world is cold. I
do like Eddie Kingston's, but I like Kenny Omega's. So I'm going to pick Kenny Omega's because it's a big fight song.
Yeah, it is. Eddie Kingston, I can't quite get into. I do like it, but Kenny Omega is just like a perfect hype up song.
I mean, the good thing about Eddie Kingston's music now is when I hear it, I'm like, oh, the crowd's about to go crazy.
That's true. Serena Deeb versus Ricky Starks. I'm going
Serena
Deeb.
Deeb's theme song fucking rocks.
Freaking Josiah Williams, baby. That guy's great. Yeah. He makes great themes.
There is zero fucking chance I am picking Tai Conchi, so I'm picking Stings.
I think both of them kind of stink.
Well, yeah, but Tai Conchi's is like generic theme song
Yeah.
too.
That's true. I am gonna go.
You know how on like the WWE video game, how they have like random songs named?
Mm-hmm.
That's her theme song.
Yeah, there.
It'd be called like. Never mind.
Great. Hook versus Andrade. I mean Hook.
Hook, no,
Hook, no doubt. Hook, no doubt.
Andrade has been growing on it, but come on now.
Britt Baker versus Sammy Guevara.
You know, I like Britt Baker's, but I can't go against Sammy Guevara. Come on, moment.
The doctor will see you now, Sammy Guevara.
Yeah, can't pass up the Sammy Guevara.
Yeah, it's the Sammy Guevara part. It's the intro bit, and it's really that's what's the killer there. CM Punk versus the Acclaimed. I mean CM Punk.
Get out of here.
Get out of here, the Acclaimed. Ruby
the
Soho
Acclaimed
versus
rap doesn't count.
The Ruby, yeah, because it's a different theme song every week. You know, I guess there's versatility and there's aspects of that, but let's see.
Ruby Soho
versus Chris Statlander. I don't even remember what Chris Statlander's theme is.
I think they're gonna change it anyway because she's not an alien anymore.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go Soho.
She's just getting the boys. Never mind.
Malachi Black versus Jungle Boy.
Malachi Black.
I'm going Black as well. As much as I enjoy the Jungle Boy Tarzan theme song, I'm also like, all right. I know I have a preference for real music, but maybe it's my also.
You also just like to bury Jungle Boy.
Yeah, apparently I just have a grudge against Jungle Boy because I can't even get behind his theme song. Nyla Rose versus Jamie Hayter.
Jamie Hayter, not close for me. I think
Jamie Hayter's theme song sound.
I think she has a great theme song. Just listen to it right now.
All right. Give me a second.
I won't be able to hear it, so you'll be all set.
Well, give me Jamie Hayter.
Haterade. I'm sorry. There's a storm.
I can't hear any. I can't. How do I not hear anything?
That's not great. If I can't hear it, you can't hear it. Guess what? Guess who can hear it?
Oh, there it goes.
Oh,
there it goes. All right, that was 5 seconds of it. I'm gonna go Nyla Rose. I'm gonna break the pack from here. Nyla Rose.
Congrats on being wrong.
FTR versus Jade Cargill.
FTR's theme song rules.
Yeah, I'm gonna go FTR as well. Thunder Rosa versus Orange Cassidy.
Orange.
Rosa. D. That's my impression.
I'll take the Pixies or whatever the fuck they're called.
Yeah, me too. John Moxley versus Chris Jericho. Now, I am gonna
Can I pick John Moxley's original?
That's what I was gonna say. I'm picking Chris Jericho here, but if we're talking John Moxley's OG song, which I think honestly is better than
I agree. I'll pick Jericho.
I'll go Jericho.
Because Judas in my mind.
MJF versus Adam Page.
Hangman. I get amped up when I hear that.
Me too.
Kickoff. I just like, okay, it's time.
Especially the orchestral version.
Yeah.
All right,
That's
and
great.
real quickly, Adam Cole. Darby versus Red Dragon.
Darby. I'll give you the reason.
That's a good song though. Darby. I'll go Darby. I'm gonna go Darby
though, because
Danielson versus Omega. Danielson.
Come on now.
Yeah, I know.
Come on now.
Serena Deeb versus Sting. Deeb.
Serena Deeb. Not even a question. Get out of here.
Hook versus
Hook.
You didn't let me do it, but it's Hook. CM Punk versus Soho. Punk.
CM Punk.
Malachi Black versus, for me, Rose. You hater.
Malachi Black. Didn't matter who it was going against.
FTR versus Orange Cassidy.
I'm going with the upset. I'm picking FTR here.
I am also going to pick FTR.
FTR has a great theme song. That's not their theme song anymore.
Oh, yeah, it isn't. Jericho versus Page.
This is the old-fashioned one. I'm going to take Page. I love Hangman Page's theme song.
I do enjoy it. I love Jericho's song, but I'm also getting annoyed by Jericho's song, so I'm going to go Page.
He needs to change it if he's going to be a heel.
I think maybe is that the Heat? Maybe it's the Heat? I don't know. Are you playing?
I don't know. I don't probably care enough.
Darby versus Danielson.
Darby.
Whoa.
Get out of here, Darby.
I was about to say, I thought you were picking Darby over Danielson. I was like,
get out of here, Darby.
Hit the curb.
Not even close.
Deeb versus
Hook.
Hook.
The dream match there.
Yeah, that's dream.
I'm picking Hook.
Yeah, I'm picking Hook. Hook.
You don't even know me.
Punk versus Black.
Punk. Come on, though.
FTR versus Page. Page,
yeah. Wow. Page has like the only original song.
So we got a tough one here. Danielson, Hook.
Danielson.
Yeah. Hook's very good, but it is Danielson. That is the correct answer. And then Punk versus Page.
Yeah, Punk.
All right. And then Punk versus Danielson. Danielson.
Punk,
Punk's a solid number 2. You can't be upset about that. You can't be upset about that one bit.
You love when that 8 seed Bryan Danielson, based off the way they did this, comes through in the clutch. The Cinderella story.
Cinderella story, baby. It's for the Cinderella tournament. Is that where they got the name Cinderella from?
What?
So they got the name Cinderella from is like the whole Cinderella story thing for tournaments?
I don't know. They dress up in a Cinderella in a ball gown after. I don't know what else you need to know about Cinderella there.
So you're saying it's actually the opposite, is that March Madness was influenced by the Cinderella Stardom tournament?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Perfect. Let's get the show started.
I wish all the players did after they won March Madness. I'll give you the Oh, sorry.
Ready. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Everybody, and welcome to Ring Post Radio, the only show where, after having a tough week at work, I'm here talking about the thing that I love, and that's professional wrestling. I'm joined by another thing that I love, my cats. They're somewhere. I
saw one walk by.
Some of them walked by, and then I'm also joined here by another thing that I love, Scotty Wrestling. Scotty.
Hey, that's me. Hey, how you doing, everybody? We got a big week here. This is probably one of my more exciting weeks in a while. Next week's WrestleMania week preview. Yeah. But we are starting that early this week because, by God, Kenny Omega. There's a lot of wrestling to talk about. So we're kind of kicking it off here because we didn't want to do 4 hours of a show next week,
which we easily probably could have. I don't know about easily,
we definitely could have. It's just we have lives. So it's very exciting times, and happy to be here. Happy to talk wrestling. This is one of the things that I look forward to every single weekend, and let's do it.
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about. You already talked about. We're going to talk about the WrestleMania weekend stuff. Some of the indie stuff. Not WrestleMania.
Ring of Honor.
I don't know if well, there's nothing really to talk about for Ring of Honor yet. It feels like we'll get those announcements.
They did
announce
next week. The tag title match.
They did. That's true. But I feel like we'll still get more announcements, and we'll have more to discuss next week. But we're going to discuss, go through, talk about some of the indie stuff that we're interested in. We're also going to talk about Stardom World Climax, both night 1 and night 2. Preview that shows.
Pretty much the only reason I'm here.
New Japan Cup night 7 to 11. That's right, Slurpee season, baby.
Was today 11?
Today was 12. This morning was 12.
Oh, so we're just gonna act like it didn't happen.
You know it.
Interesting.
And we got some news, of course. To start off the day.
Oh.
So let's. Should we just start off with? I also want to ask this question, Scotty. Do you do anything? So St. Patrick's Day was this past Thursday, I think. Do you do anything for St. Patrick's Day? Since I'm also wearing green, unironically.
I couldn't be less Irish, so no.
I couldn't be less Irish, he says.
I'm just giving you the truth. I am not at all Irish, so St. Patrick's Day, and I don't really drink too much, so St. Patrick's Day just kind of jumps right over my head. I don't consider it any big thing. I went to work this week and everyone was wearing green and happy, and I was like, "What I miss?"
Do you?
I was like,
Go ahead.
did the Celtics do good? Because and I was met with hardy har har type laughs. So it is what it is.
I've always grown up in like the similar vein of, I mean, growing up, I thought I was like pretty much Polish and German, so like St. Patty's Day was nothing. Come to find out, my dad takes a 23andMe thing, and we're like he's like 4% German, and we're then ultimately your classic whites of British, Irish, and Scottish. So apparently I'm Irish. I should be celebrating St. Patty's Day, but for me growing up, it's always been like that. That holiday where everyone is forced to wear green, or else I'm going to be attacked by a bunch of crabs, aka pinchers.
Well, good news. I didn't wear green, so I completely forgot. You want to hear a fun fact?
Sure. Yeah.
Do you know WWE shop used to sell a replica Hornswoggle hat?
And how many of those do you have?
I have 0, unfortunately, but I just wanted to tell you they also used to sell replica Stardust masks. So
Stardust mask. So you're saying that potentially
so they pretty much sold a mask that had a star on it.
So
that was about it.
You're saying that like potentially they're just going to go into the warehouse and be like, "Hey, we got a couple of these other ones. Do you want to put them back on the website?"
Yeah. Not that I was not trying to get us to the next subject, but I definitely was.
That's fair. Well, before we get to that Cody Rhodes topic, I think it's more important that we talk about Scott Hall. Scott Hall passed away earlier this week. Obviously,
you got that breaking news midway through our show last week.
Last week we're doing the show and we're hearing that Scott Hall had like it was 3 heart attacks and then put into what's the word? Not intensive care.
Life support.
Yeah, that's it. But yeah, Scott Hall has passed away. Obviously, a pretty important figure in terms of the history of professional wrestling. I say, obviously, he never never a world champion, and right. There's probably a handful of matches that people can point you to watch that Scott Hall, and most of them are ladder matches with Shawn Michaels, which is not a bad thing. Those are great matches. But in terms of just being on the ground floor of like movements, that it always seems to weirdly point back to Scott Hall in some way.
Yeah. I was talking to my friend about this actually earlier this week because he's in and out of wrestling for the most part. He watched WWE, like we watched last year we watched WrestleMania Day 1 together.
Yeah.
WWE's certain practices over the past year has made him feel differently, but we were talking about Razor Ramon Scott Hall, and we were saying I don't understand how he never won a world title. He had the size, he had the charisma, he had everything you would want in a world champion, right? Mm-hmm. So it'll never be I'll never understand why he never got the big one. And he'll probably go down as, if you think of all the retired wrestlers that never won a world title, him and Piper, of course, might be 1 and 2 in that conversation, at least in terms of legacy wise. Mm-hmm. But Scott Hall, I think a lot of people have come out to appreciate more and more this week, not just because of his death, but really when someone comes into the light that is from the older generation, you kind of just realize how impressive he was, but also how important he was. He might be the most important non-world champion wrestler we've seen in wrestling. He was the guy that went to WCW and kicked off that NWO angle that changed wrestling forever.
Yeah.
He had that promo The classic "Hey Yo," and then so on and so
The
forth. And
survey and stuff.
yeah, and I will always remember, for me, like, my favorite Scott Hall moment of all time is his Hall of Fame speech. Actually, I think it's just the best ever. Of course, he finishes with bad times don't last, but bad guys do. I think, and they just WWE just released a shirt with that
Hmm.
on it, which of course they're going to do, but it's actually like a decent shirt made by WWE. So shout out to them, I guess. Uh, and it's just so sad. I think we all saw the Kevin Nash post really first. That's really what kind of told us, okay, this isn't gonna go well.
No.
This is unfortunately not looking good, and that was heartbreaking. Because listen, I'm someone that I was never like a when it comes to Kevin Nash and pro wrestling. I'm not gonna say I'm a Kevin Nash fan, but Kevin Nash outside of pro wrestling, I've really learned to respect.
Yeah.
And I listened to his Stone Cold interview, the Broken Skull sessions, and I really gained a respect all through that because he was about making money and helping everyone long term, and that's exactly what he did. But, man, listening to reading that was heartbreaking just
Hmm.
because how close they were, and it does sound like COVID is pretty much the reason a lot of this happened, unfortunately, and it's such a shame. Rest in peace to Scott Hall. He is a true legend in the industry, and he will be remembered forever.
Yeah, completely agree. It's we talk about like influential. The guy that shows up is pretty much the person that jump starts the Monday Night Wars. It was always kind of simmering on the surface, and wasn't really until Scott Hall showed up on WCW that things started to really kick off. And you get that. You get this whole weird story about how he's the guy pitching the Crow Sting to Sting,
Yeah.
which Wrestling Observer had a nice little revision to that story, which is very funny to me. That apparently it's not because he just saw the movie. It was because there was some female that wore it wore the makeup during sex, and then Scott Hall's like, Sting should do that as a gimmick. Which
Oh man, one of a kind.
but like he he, like I said, it's like there's never I can't really, like, I didn't grow up watching wrestling,
Right.
obviously. I was born in 96. I'm a young person at the best. So 96, that's when he's in his prime, when he's wrestling. So it's not like I'm watching
Yeah.
Scott Hall when I'm zero. So but I did a lot of like rewatching of Scott Hall stuff. Obviously, I watched the 1-2-3 Kid match where he's doing the moves, but then puts over Shawn, what eventually became X-Pac Sean Waltman, longtime friend. I watched that YouTube video that went around for a bit. That was Scott Hall versus Japanese Young Boy, with him doing basically the same exact thing with Hiroshi Tanahashi when he was a young lion, which
Yeah.
Tanahashi then
Tanahashi had a
spoke
good
about.
message this week, which was really cool. Um, that was one of the things I think this week that really got me, just like the way he talked about it. But yeah,
Mhm.
I'll let you keep going.
um Obviously there's the ladder matches with Shawn
Yeah.
Michaels, the whole intercontinental disputed intercontinental championship bout at WrestleMania.
Mhm.
um that was, obviously it doesn't really hold up now, obviously, because nowadays you have guys doing insane flips off of ladders. um
I think it holds up if you go into it knowing, like,
mhm,
realizing what you're going into. You're going into the pretty much the benchmark, the the beginning of a lot of ladder matches, and it's real. I watched it last year actually, and it's really good. It's really good because it's just such a different dynamic from what we see in ladder matches now. We have to see the big bumps and
yeah.
so on, and the flips and the crazy moves. it was a lot more basic back then, but it's a wrestling match with a ladder. That's what that is.
Oh yeah.
It's not a ladder match. It's a wrestling match with a ladder.
And then even like think like a week or two ago, I watched that the Scott Hall, who was the tag teams? I want to say it was Scott Hall and X-Pac, or 1-2-3 Kid, I guess.
Versus Diesel and Shawn.
Yeah, the action zone tag. Too. What'd you think of it? What'd you think of it?
I thought it was really good. I was everyone was like saying go watch it, and I was like, okay. I'm like, you gotta like dig deep on Peacock to find it. You gotta go under like Shawn Michael hits from 1995 or something just to get to it, but it was so good.
Yeah. It was you know, we like I said, the ladder match, you know, you have to contextualize it in the time and do all this other stuff.
Yeah.
But that action zone tag, like I could see that right now. I could see it today. I can see that happening. That tag match is just so ahead of its time for 1994, you know? Yeah. And that was just like fantastic to watch. But he's somebody that he didn't always do it all the time, but I put over young talent when he knew it was time to put over young talent. He's a guy that he never got the world title, but what that makes him is one of like the ultimate upper mid carders. The guy that can challenge. I would put him in the same breath as like the ultimate mid card group of like him, Ishii maybe. I feel like Pac to a certain example right now. Somebody that is like can easily be a reputable challenger for a world title. When you think, why haven't they gotten a world title yet?
Right.
And go on and put on great matches. Ishii less so, I guess, because that's just the style of New Japan. But great aura, great promo work. Like there's these groups of guys that just like they're just they just have this aura, and that's ultimately what Scott Hall is just, especially when he eventually came to WCW. I mean, name me a classic WCW Scott Hall match besides the Bash at the Beach angle. The guy was ultimately aura, and you can get that from every single GIF that comes out of that comes on the Twitter. True. The famous one of the fan being so mad, chucking a soda into the ring, hitting Scott Hall in the back of the head without wincing one bit. He just finishes his promo, slicks his hair back, wipes the soda off, is like, yeah, whatever, man. And it's like, if you're that fan that's like, yeah, I nailed him. Wait, what is he doing? Shit, he's even cooler now. God dang it. And it's just that aura that Scott Hall exudes. Like, everyone's been saying it all week that there's nobody else that is as cool as Scott Hall.
Yeah, and I think that's a good way to remember him, right? I saw some people trying to bring up his past demons, and I thought that was just ridiculous, which, someone always does with these sort of things. But remembering him as one of the coolest wrestlers of all time, a guy that pretty much helped, in a lot of ways, was a trailblazer of sorts in wrestling. He was important in a lot of ways. Without him, the NWO doesn't happen. Without him, the Monday Night Wars don't happen. Without him, who knows where wrestling is today, right?
Does the Madison Square Garden curtain call happen?
Right. Like, that's a big moment. I think a lot of people forget about that because of, the NWO stuff. But he will go down in history as a true legend of the game. And I think that's why you saw it this week. A lot of people remembered him. New wrestlers, old wrestlers. It was everyone that came out for him. So rest in peace to Scott Hall, and hope his family and all that's doing well. Friends too, of course.
I know we kind of joked about it last week, but do you think WWE, that T-shirt that they put out, do you think any of that money is going to his family?
Probably not.
Where's
I think I have a better shot of going to DDP.
where's Mark Pickering complaining about that one? About that shirt?
Make a good point.
Come on, Mark, where are you? Let's move on. Speaking about Japanese promotions, let's talk about this. AEW through Christopher Daniels announced this morning. This is a surprise topic that I didn't tell Scotty before the show, but I knew he had a thought on it. I don't know if you heard about it.
I saw it. I witnessed it on Twitter live. I wasn't watching it anymore at the time.
AEW announced through Christopher Daniels that they have DDT and AEW have reached somewhat of a partnership. Jude, what are you doing? Somewhat of a partnership with at least acknowledging that DDT talent will be heading to AEW at some point in the future.
I believe they said talent trading.
Was that the word? I heard DDT talent
said.
going to AEW. I didn't heard the opposite. Let me see if I can.
It sounds like it'll be mostly DDT talent going to AEW, but I think there's definitely. Well, we already saw Michael Nakazawa on that show, so
that's true.
They'll probably be sending people. And can I give my thoughts on it now?
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
Okay. So the DDT partnership, listen, okay, it's not the New Japan one. Like the New Japan one will be AEW's most important partnership, but I think the DDT one is going to go a long way in their already working relationship with Cyber Fight Promotions. Of course, they work with TJPW. Hikaru Shida was just on their major show this past weekend. As I said, Michael Nakazawa was there on DDT, but this shouldn't come too much as a shock. If anyone knows, Kenny Omega, before going to New Japan, a lot of his best moments are from DDT. And if you thought those relationships ended, you're absolutely out of your mind. He's very excited about it. He was hyping up the show last night. Mm-hmm. He was hyping up both shows. And we've seen Konosuke Takeshita on AEW before. And I said this when people were like freaking out about the announcement. I was like, listen, that wasn't on accident.
Yeah.
Takeshita's their ace. Like that doesn't just happen. Like clearly this was always in the makings, I think. It was just a matter of when can we do it?
Yeah.
Right.
This is more so just a formal announcement.
Yeah. And COVID kind of ruined a lot of that, I'm sure, of exchanging talent and whatnot. But this is exciting if you're bringing in their best of the best. I don't think Tony Khan's going to be bringing in the comedy side, unfortunately, for those who might want that. I don't, but you're going to see probably a Takeshita who is one of the best in the world today. You're going to see a Jun Akiyama probably, which is just crazy to think about. Everyone was like, all right, give me Jun Akiyama versus Eddie Kingston right now. And I was like, you know what, that's fair. You can get a number of great wrestlers that they have. I'm just trying to think of another one. Tetsuya Endo is a great one. Chris Brooks, possibly. Hiroshima, Kazusada, Higuchi. There is a number of guys and girls, Saki Akai, which she's part of TJPW as well. These are people you can bring over, and that's exciting. And if AEW is going to share some talent, you could see the likes of, I don't know, maybe a Pac, a Phoenix. The guys.
Oh my god,
the guys that aren't necessarily main eventers right now, but they would be big time stars in DDT if they went over. So you have a number of people, and the relationship and all the relationships that AEW have going with TJPW, with DDT, with AAA, with New Japan, it's exciting, right? It's very exciting, and that's why wrestling is better now than it was 5 years ago for me. It's because we have a company like AEW willing to work with so many people.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think it's very interesting. I think it's another one of those like talent exchange things that those partnership things that will remains to be seen what it's going to look like. Obviously talent has already been exchanged, but it's typically been the likes of Michael Nakazawa, so it's
Yeah.
But it's also one of those things. Like, is it going to be like an Impact level where it's like maybe we'll get like one or two people over here, and it's nothing more than that, or it's not going to be massive invasion angles probably, but I know I'm fully expecting we'll see Konosuke popping up some more often. I mean he showed up on Elevation just out of nowhere, and everyone was like, "Whoa, who's this guy?" And he just blew everyone away with how good he was.
He had a good match with Danny Limelight.
I was about to say it was the Danny Limelight match, right? That he just blew everyone out of the way.
Yeah,
out of the
Dude's
water.
Dude's a star. So that's exciting.
Chris Brooks, I think, is another guy that Chris Brooks has like said in the past that he's like kind of wants to stay in Japan, but this is an easy way for him to just do a couple dates in America again. Plus with Cyber Fight, obviously with their existence of owning both promotions, hey, this is a way to bring in both Chris Brooks and Maki Ito at the same time.
Sorry.
I think it's a great idea. Is there anyone I would like to see in DDT? I don't really watch DDT too often, so I can't think of anyone right off the bat. I mean, Kenny Omega's, and I think has Riho showed up? I think she has. DDT.
Yes.
I think she has.
She had a match in DDT.
I don't think we'll get like a Pac kind of guy just because of the Dragon Gate thing. I can't see.
I don't know how to feel about Pac, man. You brought him up earlier. It's been on my mind since. I'm like, man, that guy just gets wasted and wasted. He can go back to Dragon Gate. I'd be fine with that if that's what they want to do. I think it's a good name. I mean, Christopher Daniels makes sense, of course. Yep. He was the one that made the announcement. Eddie Kingston, I feel he's gonna want to do as much, Japan stuff as he possibly can, probably. If they give him the option.
Yeah, but he's already in New Japan now. I imagine it can't be anybody
Strong.
that's in. Still, but I can't imagine anybody that's in Strong now.
I don't think they probably care.
Send over
Minoru Suzuki did DDT.
Send over Angelico and Jack Evans.
Sure. None of that excites me.
Send over the Gun Club.
Send over Butcher.
Send over Danhausen.
Yeah, send them over so I don't have to see them. That'd be a win for me.
Yeah. I wonder.
Just give me Jun Akiyama.
Send over Fuego del Sol.
Yeah, see it. Fuego del. Never mind. Send over Miro.
Send over Hook. Oh God! Even then, Miro versus Jun Akiyama. like that's what I like about Eddie Kingston versus Jun Akiyama is that politically, Eddie Kingston would easily lose. He's like, I'm more than happy to lose against Jun Akiyama. Yeah. Are you kidding me?
Like, not only will I lose, I'll tap.
I'll tap. I don't care, man. I'll do whatever. I want to face Jun Akiyama.
Yeah, it's exciting though. Partnerships and whatnot. I mean, we were talking about Ring of Honor earlier, which is not a partnership, of course, but it's another promotion under AEW. It's something different. So I'm excited. I mean, I'm always excited when AEW does these things. Who could have went there? A certain American Nightmare, but
that's right.
I guess we'll never know now.
No, because PW Insider has reported that Cody Rhodes has officially signed with, not only officially signed with WWE, but according to PW Insider, he is, I guess at this point, signed to the company 12 to 16 days ago. At this point, which is insane. An insane read that I don't think anyone's talking about. Is you're telling me that they've held him for over 2 weeks, and just because not doing him at Jacksonville, not doing him at Madison Square Garden, we're just gonna hold on to him. Either ways, Fightful then also reports that he is planned to debut at WrestleMania weekend, But even then, they clarify saying the Raw after WrestleMania, but at the same time, you have other reports saying that Seth Rollins versus Cody is scheduled. I believe Wrestler Observer is saying this, that Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins is scheduled for WrestleMania Night 2, I believe. So what do you think? We finally have news. We finally have some sort of confirmation, the most confirmation we've ever had. Cody Rhodes in WWE.
It's happening. This is one of those ones I was like, I don't know. I'll believe when I see it. Oh my God, Ryan, it's actually happening.
Yeah.
They got one.
They got a win. They finally got a win. It was Kevin Owens and now Cody.
They got and Sami Zayn. Shout out Sami Zayn. We love Sami Zayn.
That's true.
This is big. I mean, poor guy's career is probably gonna. I don't know, man. Remember big WrestleMania match. Let's start off with that, okay?
Sure.
Right here, right now. If he's facing Seth Rollins, it's a big match no matter what. That's a intriguing match based on. I've liked Seth's work as of late. From what I've seen, I'm not watching nearly as much WWE as I once was. 6 months ago, I'm not watching nearly as much. But what I've been seeing out of Seth Rollins, I actually watched that tag team match a few weeks ago. That was great. And he was working great with Kevin Owens. So I'm really intrigued. I mean, Kevin Owens gets Stone Cold Steve Austin, and Seth Rollins gets Cody Rhodes.
Who's currently a bigger star
than Cody Rhodes?
Steve Austin. Let's bring in Steve Austin.
Oh, I was like, who's bigger than us? I was like, who's a bigger star in WWE than Cody Rhodes? Well, here's my list.
Yeah.
I think it's exciting. I think that's kind of what I want to say. I think a lot of people are having fun with the jokes and whatnot, but WWE needs a shot in the arm. They need a shot and then some in the arm.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And bringing in Cody Rhodes, a guy that no matter how much people want to make fun of him, they watch to see him no matter what.
Yeah.
It's a good signing. I hope if they're smart enough, right, they treat him like a superstar so that other wrestlers in AEW see it and say, oh, maybe if I jump ship, I'd be treated the same. That's how you have to do this if you're WWE. You got to treat Cody like a main event superstar.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you are
like you would with Roman, like you would with Brock.
Right. If you want MJF to even consider you in 2 years, if you want Wardlow to even consider you, if you want all these people to consider you at any time in the future, you need to treat Cody as a big deal. And I think starting off with a Seth Rollins match is a good start. I mean, they're about to combine their world titles, but also not. So I have no idea what they're doing there. But I think by the end of 2022, Cody Rhodes should probably be a world champion.
Yeah, 100%. Depending however this unification nonsense happens.
I don't know. I don't believe any of it.
It's something that no matter what way you slice it, it's a huge signing, and it's a perfect signing for WWE. It's 100% a shot in the arm. People will watch it. I certainly will watch it. I mean, you'd be crazy not to. And this is ultimately, as much as do I want to see Cody Rhodes wrestle in WWE? Not necessarily. I don't think there is, the style of WWE is something I enjoy in terms of my wrestling enjoyment, what I want to see out of wrestling. However, these kind of moves, WWE has the most money. They can throw money at people. And these kinds of moves of giving people money and, giving them the bag are what helps make the wrestling world exciting, right? That is what's going to build excitement for wrestling is these sort of things, is having Cody Rhodes going to WWE. You know, it's
Right.
not holding everybody in WWE, holding everybody in AEW. It's having that sort of thing pop up into WWE. Now, you know, are they going to reference AEW when he pops up? I would, because it's, hey, you know, the competition, we just took their top guy. We just took their executive vice president. I would bring it up.
I hope his first promo says, "What do you guys want to talk about?"
Oh yeah.
Which was his last promo.
Yeah, but that's also part of it, is we don't know what this deal is with WWE. How much creative control is this guy getting? That's apparently one of the reasons he left AEW. So what is he getting?
I'm sure he's getting more than we probably expect him to.
Which makes it all the more exciting.
To be fair, I expect him to get none. So anything is more than I expect.
Yeah.
It's exciting for one time in a long time, especially for WrestleMania season. WWE has something exciting about them.
Oh, and especially for this WrestleMania that is like dead in the water.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the card, it's like, oh, there's Stone Cold and
in a talk show segment.
I mean, am I gonna watch it? Am I gonna love when the glass breaks? Yes,
of course, I'm a fan.
But like, yeah, the card is very shit for the most part. So, it's exciting. It's something. It, like you said, it's a shot in the arm. It's very wait and see. Because we have no idea how Cody is going to be treated in the world of WWE after shitting on them and calling them out and pretty much making that a war in his own way. But Vince McMahon doesn't care about that. He just cares about money.
Well, I mean, he may care about it. I mean, that's my big concern.
We'll know quickly.
Oh yeah, because that's ultimately the result of Seth Rollins versus Cody is going to ultimately showcase what is going to happen with Cody, I think. Because, you know, the classic WWE move and any territory move, but especially WWE, is when you get the guy from the other thing, you get him to lose. And they freaking bought WCW and booked all those guys to lose because Vince should hold a grudge. Now, he shouldn't hold a grudge here, and I completely agree with you that what he needs to do is make Cody look good for at least a year to start convincing to take more people. That's the long-term play. But you gotta turn those screws a little bit. Somebody's gotta be eating the pin. You know, it's something like that. It's very interesting. Plus this guy seemingly has no interest in turning heel, so this guy's got to play face for however long.
Well, I remember one random report saying he was saving his heel work for somewhere else, and I was like, "What?"
Really?
Now I might know.
Yeah.
Because it seems Rollins is supposed to be a babyface nowadays. I have no idea. I'm not gonna lie to you. But it's gonna be fun. I mean, it's gonna be interesting. I mean, Cody Rhodes, my guy, you are one of a kind. And I guess we're gonna see it very quickly if your decision was a good one, which I don't think we all really know the answer to that. So I'm hoping it's a success.
Do you think the hype is gone?
No, as much as we want to act like it, I got to the point where I was sick of the conversation of like, is he going, is he not? But I think a lot of people are going to watch just to see Cody Rhodes, at least the first time.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean, definitely the first time. It is, you know, he's going to sell tickets no matter what. I mean, we saw how much of a ticket mover and everything he was for AEW.
Yeah.
So
is there ace at the beginning?
Oh yeah, he's got value. There's value in getting a Cody Rhodes. No wonder you give him the bag. I just love the report being like, you know, when the report came out, it was like, we've had him signed for like 2 weeks now, and it's like, You know, you had
Embarrassing on your
MSG
part.
was right there. Jacksonville was right there.
Yeah, I mean,
What are we waiting for?
I guess they're just gonna wait for WrestleMania now.
I guess so. I mean, maybe they're waiting for the story to happen. It's like, well,
I mean, if you do a Seth Rollins thing where he's like, "I'm just gonna do an open challenge," then everyone's gonna tune in just to see it. So
that's true. You know, they'll sell it off of Seth Rollins WrestleMania Open Challenge.
yeah, everyone will borrow their friend's Peacock account and they'll get it on there.
There's the report saying that it's going to be on. Was it night 2? What was it, night 1? Let's see.
I mean, it better be on night 2. I don't know if they need it out there.
Let's see. Yeah, night 2. Night 2.
The reason.
Yeah, so
right.
It's going to be interesting. It's definitely going to be interesting. I don't know how I feel about it. I think it's a great move in terms of wrestling excitement and world stuff, and maybe it can contribute to a boom.
It turned out not to only be smoke and mirrors.
I don't know where to go from that.
Probably just move on.
My last point I was going to say is that, like, you know, I think it's going to be, we're going to have something similar. Ultimately, with Cody Rhodes, I think we're going to have something similar to AJ Styles in the fact that he's going to be a big deal for a while, and then eventually, a year or two down the line, he'll start becoming a guy.
He'll fade away and classify as obsolete. Damn, yeah, dude. Didn't say it back. Stuff.
That hasn't been a thing in 5 years, I think.
Listen, I just saw Jeff Hardy's thing, fade away and classify as all elite on a podcast. So screw yourself.
It's so cringe. It's so cringe.
Yeah, well, he said it. So,
well, let's talk about the New Japan Cup. Let's do.
Well, I already know what happened today, so that's great.
That's true. Okay. That's true. Well, we'll just talk about what we did. The same thing last week, where we just
that was
going to
be my whole topic.
They were going to talk about whether or not we had good thoughts or opinions on any of these matches.
Sounds good.
From night 7 to 11. So night 7, of course, of New Japan Cup. I believe this is the second round of New Japan Cup action. We got Chase Owens defeating Tiger Mask, Shingo Takagi versus Tonga Loa, where Shingo wins. Evil versus Tama Tonga in 14 minutes and 21 seconds, and Hiromu over Suzuki in 19 minutes and 27 seconds. Thoughts on any of those matches?
Last 2 matches rocked.
Yeah, man. Oh my god.
Evil versus Tama Tonga was stupidly good. Like, it should not have been as good as it was. I thought it was really solid. Of course, you had the big Bullet Club story at the end, but I don't know. There was just something about the way Tonga was wrestling. He had a lot of determination out there. And I'm going to say it. This has been a good New Japan Cup for Evil.
It's been a great New Japan Cup for Evil.
Yeah, I think Evil's looked great. I mean, it's crazy what happens when a good wrestler gets to wrestle for the most part. But yeah, that match, it just had an energy about it that I loved. I absolutely loved it. And then I'll let you talk about that actually first before I get into the main.
Can I be can I be overindulgent? Can I say something real quick that's gonna blow your mind, blow your entire gourd?
Sure.
Match of the tournament so far for me. Yeah, I love this match.
Time out. No, time out.
Yeah.
Did you say Shingo versus Tomohiro Ishii was 5 stars?
Oh, you're right. I did say that's 5 stars.
I was gonna say. So, are you saying
that was so far ago?
This match 5 stars?
I'm saying this match is a 6-star match, baby. Evil out there. Tama Tonga's
ever had 5 stars.
No. But 4.5. I went as high as 4.5 stars.
Wow.
I loved this match. I thought it was fantastic. I thought the work from both Evil and Tama Tonga was perfect. I thought, it's the same thing as the Ishii Shingo match that we talked about before. Any match that can get the crowd to the point where they are cheering, actively gasping and cheering And this match did it. I am way higher than Cage Match at 6.05 rating. I'm way higher than Dave at 3.5 stars. I'm going a whole nother star on top of this thing. Evil versus Tama Tonga was great. It was very good, very well worked. Tama Tonga, House of Fire, this man. Can you believe it from this guy? Who could have guessed that this guy has such babyface fire, babyface energy that got the crowd completely behind him? So good. So good. And then the angle afterwards. And then the angle afterwards was fantastic. You know, just coming down and then the whole Bullet Club and House of Torture turning on them and just beating the crap out of them. The freaking gas that the crowd had when Jado came out and choked out Dick Togo, and then everything exploded from there. God, this match was so good, man. It was fantastic. Freaking fantastic.
Wow. I don't know if I was ready for you to be that hyped up about this match. I thought it was really good, but wow, okay.
I thought it was really good.
You put your money where your mouth is. I can respect that. I can respect that. That's the.
At the end of the day, it's Evil versus Tama Tonga, and it's a match that so exceeded my my expectations. That's mine as well. I think that's also part of it, is that it exceeded my expectations so much that I'm stunned by how great it was, which I think is great work from them.
Finishing a yawn. So I didn't think this was the best match on the show.
Well, yeah, so let's talk about that main event, which was also fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, you and me were saying last week, right? We were going over like, you know, what if they give Hiromu a run here? Like, what if they do it? Ryan, they're doing it.
They're doing it, man.
Him versus Minoru Suzuki, man. The way they designed this match, you want to talk about getting excited? These two chopped each other for 10 minutes before doing anything else. I loved it. I loved every part of it. Wrestling can be so simple sometimes, and especially for me, like if you just chop and kick the shit out of one another, I'm gonna love it, and I loved it. Hiromu, man, I'm gonna have a take in the next his second match when we get to it, but his babyface energy and his love that he receives from the crowd is incredible. And Suzuki, I mean, this guy, right? New Japan doesn't treat him like I think a lot of us see him still. They don't. But they know they can put him in a main event like this and he's going to deliver. And I loved this match. It was physical, it was brutal, and the heart, the determination of Hiromu Takahashi in this tournament is the story of the tournament for me. And I couldn't recommend this match enough. Really, the last two matches, I think a lot of people hear Evil versus Tama Tonga and they probably skipped it, but I think you should go back and watch it because, like you said, of that energy that Tonga was able to bring and get the crowd into it. And that's why I love the main event too. Hiromu was doing the same in this tournament. So definitely check both of these out.
Fantastic work from both of these guys. That Hiromu match of Suzuki. I like seeing Suzuki's chest be cut open first was fantastic.
Yeah.
That was the start of like, holy crap, this match. And they just kept working it. I did not realize the size difference, or not even the size difference, but the size similarity between Hiromu and Suzuki.
Yeah.
Practically staring eye to eye. Practically same build and everything. Like, you know, if you're talking guy going up to the heavyweight, I mean, they're working on it. But I mean, at the same time, Hiromu's also said that if he wins, he's going after El Desperado. So we're looking at some pretty good work, and we might get there. I
would love to tell Hiromu that he should be a heavyweight now.
Oh my God.
The dude is such a star, right? He should be main eventing pay-per-views. He should be in that top echelon with Okada, Naito, Ibushi, Takagi, Osprey. He should be wrestling in there. He's proving it every single show. Listen, I've been down on Hiromu a lot.
Me too.
I said this recently, but this New Japan Cup has woken him up. It's made Hiromu again. Mm-hmm. And it's reminding me that, hey, this guy's one of the best in the world when he gets going, right? He's got the rust off now. The rust is gone. The rust from his 75 injuries are gone. This is go time now. And I am loving every second of it.
I also really enjoy, Hiromu. Hiromu had to have changed his style. I think he's starting to learn that too, is that he has to change his style. He can't do that, Kushida, like jump over the top rope out of nowhere and destroy the man. He can't do that, like put his body on the line, because his body's been way too much. But converting that style into a Suzuki-esque violence person is the perfect thing that still works for his character and can allow him more longevity in his career. Do more of that. That's what you need to do. Join up with Moxley and Danielson and Regal and do that. It's great. And that's what Hiromu needs to be doing, because that's going to give him longevity. We're going to see him around for more longer. Suzuki's not going to be around for much longer. Well, he's probably going to be around for like 30 more years at this point. But we need a new Suzuki kind of person who is that crazy violent person. And Hiromu, in a weird way, I never would have thought him as that person, but I think it would work perfectly for Hiromu to take that mantle on. But fantastic work for them. Moving on to the next night, this night 8 of the New Japan Cup, we had this is the beginning of the third round matches. We had Hiroki Goto against Shima, with Shima taking the victory in 17 minutes and 20 seconds. And then,
oh my God,
Kazuchika Okada versus Taichi, with Okada picking up the win in 24 minutes and 17 seconds.
Someone asked a great question on Twitter. How the fuck does Shima still have knees? The ending to this was awesome. The way he finished off Goto, I like the match a lot, but the ending is really all you need to see for this. I mean, Shima and Goto had some, they had some cool exchanges in the match, but he hit the springboard meteor to the back, and then he finished it in the front, and I just popped when he won. I really did. Like, I legitimately jumped out of my chair, because I went spoil free all week, which I'll get to in a second about a certain match. And this was the one I was really happy to go in spoiler free, because I didn't know if Shima was going to win. I'm happy he did, because I know today we got Okada versus Shima. Spoiler about Okada beating Taichi. But I'm very excited to watch that. Man, Shima should probably stick around. I'm just saying. They announced the best of the Super Juniors coming back in May. Is it May?
I'll look that up. I'll confirm that.
I believe it's May. I'm just saying, if you're gonna probably have a much more stacked lineup this time around than you did just a couple months ago, if I had to guess. So Shima's the name I think you put in there, but hopefully a lot of other guys. Maybe Clark Connors comes back. I think that'd be cool. Ren Narita, please. I've been asking for this for a while, but there's a lot of names that fit the future best of the Super Juniors, but very happy to see Shima moving on. Again, really great finish.
Yeah, my one concern is I don't know what Shima's size is according to New Japan, because he doesn't have a profile.
It is whatever they want him to be.
But Shima does have a fellow Strong Hearts wrestler. Hey, Jude. Jude is biting on my my cat is biting my console thing here. Shima does have a fellow Strong Hearts member that has already said that he wanted to face El Desperado.
That's the G-Rex champion of the world, baby.
El Lindemann. I think El Lindemann is 100% going to be putting in this Best of Super Juniors. I think 100% we're going to get El Lindemann in there.
Need it.
Hey, stop it. Jude, quit it. Jude, when my cat, when he gets angry about something, he starts chewing on things. He just tried to bite one of the buttons off of my mixer. He's trying to chew the XLR cable. He's chewing on my Mac charger right now. Buddy, what's wrong? What's wrong? Why are you being a grumpos? He's being a grumpos. Anyways, yeah, Best of Super Juniors in May. I'm excited about this, man. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be freaking-tastic.
It'll be the best boss.
And then
2019
Kazuchika Okada versus Taichi as well. I thought that it was pretty good.
I liked it a lot. I think Taichi really steps up his game against Okada.
Yeah.
And I thought he did here. Okada, man, he is having himself a year already. Yeah, it's currently March 20th, and Okada is currently running away for the rest of the year. Now, dead months are coming for that, where he slows down. But if you keep delivering your biggest match of the month, it doesn't really matter. And that's what he's doing. I thought this was really good. They made you believe for a slight second Taichi might actually win the damn thing. Yeah. Of course he didn't. But I enjoyed it a lot, and I love watching Okada do his thing.
Yeah, I thought it was very good work. I like the Shima match a little more than this Okada match here.
Interesting.
That's just me. That's just me and my stylings. But still very good work between Okada and Taichi. You're right. Okada is easily. I don't know. I think Wrestler of the Year right now is a fight between Okada and Hangman Adam Page. Because Adam Page, Okada feels like he's like there. Hangman Page has been also putting in great amount of work.
Yeah.
But he just doesn't have the feeling there. So if Page can just continue doing that stuff, I think he can maybe put out even more great matches. I think
the thing with Page, I feel like he's just not wrestling as much.
As Okada?
He has 6 matches. Okada has 11, and almost all of Okada's that I've watched. Okay, out of that I've watched, and I've watched every Hangman Page match this year. I'm not watching Okada tags. So it's 11-6 in terms of singles matches. Actually, no, I watched the main event of the Noah show and then the main event of the 50th anniversary. But both of those were really good. So that's my point. Like, I think if you just give Hangman Page more big matches or more matches overall, he's going to get there, right?
I'm pulling up their singles matches of this year so that we can get an idea. Let's see. What do we got here? What we're looking at. Obviously, Okada's had more because he's been doing the tournament. So Okada has had 4 tournament matches. Okada versus Desperado. Great. Okada versus Wato. Funny. Okada versus Taichi. Solid. And then Okada versus Shima, which was this morning. And title defenses, Okada has had 2 dome shows, Okada versus Shingo, and then Okada versus Osprey. And then Golden Series, Okada versus Naito. Yeah. All very solid stuff. Adam Page, 4 matches in total. All of them world title matches. Page versus Danielson, which was great. Lance Archer death match, which was great. Adam Cole match, which was a solid takeover main event. And then Dante Martin, which was, a solid 7-minute match.
Yeah. So I think if Hangman just can get up to speed, it's going to be close, right?
Yeah.
At least between heavyweight champions and the men's. I mean, good luck to everybody after next weekend in my ratings because Stardom's going to be Stardom. But hey, it's okay.
These next 2 weeks are going to start, like, the ratings are going to fly, and
Oh
Wrestler of the
my
Year stuff is
God.
going to fly off.
You want 4 stars? Oh, you want 4.5 stars? Okay, yeah, just gonna toss them out.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry, I'm not expecting WrestleMania to give me many of those, so I'll save them for every other show.
Night, what am I at? Night 9 of New Japan Cup, 3rd round match. Yoshihashi losing to Jeff Cobb in 17 minutes and 22 seconds. And Tetsuya Naito defeating Hiroshi Tanahashi in 18 minutes and 48 seconds.
Man, Yoshihashi, huh? This guy, he gets good matches out of the big dudes. Jeff Cobb, great. We love Jeff Cobb here, right?
Mm-hmm.
I thought this match was really good. Again, I just watched it yesterday, actually. I was a little behind on my New Japan stuff. I really enjoyed it. I think Yoshihashi's just such a good underdog that he's so good at making you believe, and then he ultimately loses, so it's okay. But I thought he did really good in that match, working over Cobb's leg and just trying, and of course, Tour of the Islands wins it for Mr. Cobb, but really good stuff there. Yeah, I'll let you.
Yeah, no, I also thought it was a solid thing. You're right in saying that Yoshihashi has become like an underdog. It's like he's no longer the guy that's like, oh, he's 100% going to lose that match. Well, he still is, I guess. We both said he's 100% going to lose this match.
Well, he is, but he's an underdog still.
Yeah, but he's now more believable, and that he could win. Maybe he has a chance.
Gives me a feeling when I'm watching it, right? Like it gives me like, oh, I know he's going to lose, but he can convince me he might win.
Yes, the in a weird way, the COVID hiatus has done wonders for Yoshihashi because he just came out of it just as a believable wrestler now, which is weird to say and probably not a good thing to say. I'm not going to say it to his face.
Sometimes it takes just something weird to happen, and I guess maybe clap crowds got him an understanding of what to do and what not to do. I don't know.
That's true. And then Naito versus Tanahashi. Not as this wasn't a dome show, which I don't blame either of them for not.
I hate the venue that they were in for the show.
You hate the Zip Arena in Okayama.
I hate how bright it is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it. I was like, I saw it. I was like, okay, well, this match, they're not going to try. They're not going to be Tanahashi and Naito. They're going to be Ta and Na. There you go. They went like 20%. They just didn't do nearly as much as you'd want them to do.
Yeah.
And that's fine. They don't have to all the time, but it was still good. I mean, these two can't have a bad match. Let me say that, okay? They're not gonna have a bad match. Like I tweeted it out. I was like, the funniest thing about Tanahashi and Naito is that they tried maybe 30% each, and they still probably had a better match than most people will ever have in their life.
Oh yeah, I mean, their bad match is still a good match, and by no means was this a bad match. But
no, it didn't give you excitement.
Yeah, but I mean, it was still very good. I very much enjoyed the work here by both men.
This is the match that I watched yesterday. Had no idea Naito won. Had zero clue.
Yeah. That spot though, what was it? The Tanahashi did the high fly flow to Naito on the outside. The ace is high.
Yeah.
Man, Naito kicking a bump there. That's the one bump of the night.
Yeah, ace is high. Yeah, that was good shit. I anytime Tanahashi says, you know what, I'm just gonna go nuts at my age. Okay, I'll watch. I'm not gonna complain. The only thing I'm wondering when they do Okada versus Tanahashi. I'm thinking Dominion now.
Yeah, I wonder as well. Well, remains to be seen.
Makes sense. Dominion's your second biggest show of the year. Mm-hmm. That's your biggest match still to this day.
I agree. Night 10 of New Japan Cup. We had Zack Sabre Jr. defeating Great Okan in 20 minutes and 3 seconds via the You Can't Play Conkers in England. And of course, you had Will Osprey defeating Sonata in 60 minutes and 56 seconds via referee stoppage.
I never thought. So I thought Sabre Jr. and Great Okan, for exactly what I expected, was pretty good. but I never thought it was going to end. It went on forever. 20 minutes. I was not ready for Great O'Con to go 20 minutes, man.
Me neither.
It was good. It was pretty good, but nothing to get me jumping out of my chair or anything. I guess that's not really what I expect out of those two going head to head. Usually Zach needs, well, an Osprey to do that. So, and yeah.
I thought that was the finish of the Zack Sabre Jr. Great O'Con was the best part. Little too long, and when you get those grapple fucky matches, at 20 minutes, you're like, all right, let's
get a move on here,
wrap it up. But the finish was great. That sudden arm bar from Zack Sabre Jr. while getting lifted up was fantastic.
Yeah, that was cool.
And then the main event, Will Ospreay defeating Sonata. It was reported after the match that Sonata suffered a fractured orbital bone, and he will be out for a number of time. I don't know what the time is, but he'll be out.
Happened on the shooting star press that Ospreay did. This match wasn't very good. It was. I watched it and I stopped when it was over, and I was like, was there something weird about this match? Because it didn't feel they were on the same wavelength at all. They weren't I enjoyed the last 5 minutes. Really, I thought they were pretty good, but there was just something that wasn't clicking for me, which is a shame because I was looking forward to this match. I thought, okay, Sonata's champion. You had a really good match with Tanahashi. I forget who he fought in the first round, but Osprey is Osprey, so he can often have a pretty good match. And it didn't click for me, and it was probably my most upsetting match of the tournament so far in terms of expectations versus reality. So it is what it is. I like the ending though. I like the ending of just kind of knocking him out. I thought that was different, and I like different.
Yeah. I wonder. I would have to imagine that the orbital bone fracture played a part in the match.
But I thought it got better after that. That's the whole thing.
No, that's true. Maybe. But maybe that just goes to Sonata's ability, I guess. But I guess also it could also just be that it's it's Sonata. Sometimes Sonata just is not quite there for whatever reason for me, and maybe it was similar for you. This does mean that Will Ospreay pinned defeated the United States champion. So
I think since Sonata's hurt now, they're gonna have to delay it. I was thinking maybe they do that for the final, the New Japan Cup final show. Now that's probably not going to happen, they'll probably do it maybe somewhere down the line. Maybe Dominion. Maybe you can do that at Dominion, or Dontaku if he's back by then. I don't know how long his injury is going to take. So
that's definitely true. It was also announced I think around this time that Ospreay is heading to Chicago to face John Moxley. And
casually.
Right? Just casually.
That is happening. Just casually. I was like, oh man, fucking Chicago. It's always Chicago. Always Chicago that gets the matches that I want to see. That's happening. They kind of, it didn't come out of nowhere because Osprey pretty much just spent every post match calling out John Moxley.
Yeah.
But as you say, boy howdy, that's exciting, right? That Chicago show has one match, and it's already a must-see show.
Ooh, baby, it's must-see. Night 11 of the New Japan Cup, we got Shingo Takagi versus Chase Owens, with Shingo defeating
fucking chance I watched that.
16 minutes and 41 seconds. I thought it was Chase Owens' best match of the year so far, best match of the tournament, obviously.
Wow, I'm shocked. Shingo Takagi had the best match of Chase Owens this year.
Yeah. And then, of course,
I really don't like Chase Owens.
I know you don't. And that's a fair reason. And Hiromu Takahashi defeating Evil in 15 minutes and 52 seconds, continuing the whole thing of, man, Evil's been great. Hiromu is back.
Ryan, this match was, I love this. I loved this. I loved it because you just have Hiromu go in there and he attacks Evil right off the bat. He gets the early going and he's able to battle off the entire. I did get a laugh though by the end of this. I was like, wow, the entire heavyweight division can't do this, but Hiromu can, baby. He can fight off Evil and Dick Togo, but
he doesn't need the extra help. He doesn't need the help at all.
The energy in that arena, right? This was the highest Korakuen Hall in a long time, over 1,000. And you could just feel the energy. You could feel the buildup. You could feel how much they wanted Hiromu to win. And this is the beauty of House of Torture. Now, hear me out here. House of Torture, if done right, can work very well.
Yeah.
Right? And it's for these moments. When you're having people clap, you can't feel that as much. But when you get the actual reaction that we did at the end of this match, it was awesome. Hiromu wrestled his ass off, going back and forth between him, Evil and Togo. Evil, man, gonna give him props. I'm gonna keep giving him props because he is having himself a year after that disappointment at Wrestle Kingdom. He has been on.
Yeah.
He has been on in his big matches. I think we're slowly seeing as crowds come back a little, they're peeling it back a little on House of Torture in a good way. Mm-hmm. And it's working out very well. And the ending of this match where Hiromu knocks off Togo, Evil runs into him. Evil turns around. Everything is Evil. On to Evil. 1, 2, 3. Crowd erupts more than they've erupted in a very long time in Japan. Yeah. And then after that, as Hiromu celebrating in the middle of the ring, they announced this is even better. They announced that Shingo Takagi versus Hiromu Takahashi is happening, and the crowd cheered again. And it was just the energy that we felt, right? Like, we're a Japanese crowd at the end of a great match.
Yeah.
Is one of, if not the best in wrestling.
Yeah.
And we got the closest we've got to it in a very long time. And that's where I give the whole House of Torture thing some credit. You have the babyface underdog, junior heavyweight in Hiromu Takahashi fighting, and you have the heel, we want them to lose at all costs, House of Torture Evil. Mm-hmm. It was a perfect matchup. I loved it. The energy, it was amazing.
In a weird way, it's kind of like that David Goliath story where Hiromu the Jr. going up against this big bad House of Torture hot individual from Evil. It's not much of a size difference, but certainly the numbers game and everything. Boy, howdy. Hiromu just putting in God's work so far. Evil, another fantastic Evil match. Cannot believe I'm saying that in 2022.
Shout out to Evil.
But Evil, oh boy, maybe being the House of Torture podcast, maybe that's something that is we're no longer going
You're
under.
Welcome.
We're no longer going over.
Oh, that's right.
We're going over. Just like
You're
House
welcome,
of Torture,
everybody.
we're going over. Going over, baby. Maybe that's playing off for us. And boy, howdy, this match, man. It's that whole thing of like, what's great about Japanese crowds is that, yes, they're quiet, but when they're raucous and they're yelling and gasping and there for every spot, that means that the wrestlers out there have earned it, and Hiromu and Evil earned it.
Yeah.
It was great stuff. Jude, get off my keyboard. He opened up the settings. Oh shit, what did he do? He opened up the settings. He opened up Siri. Get out of here, Siri. Hiromu has done fantastic work. This match, god damn. It's just Hiromu's back, man. Hiromu's back.
He is. And I think it's funny, right? That you and me have been talking about for really since we started the show.
Yep.
When we did we kind of talked about the landscape of wrestling. And we're saying New Japan is just missing something. It's interesting that here in 2022, their top stars are finding who they were all over again, right? Okada's Okada again.
Yeah.
And now we can say Hiromu's Hiromu again. And Ryan, tomorrow we are getting Shingo Takagi versus Hiromu Takahashi in the main event of a New Japan Cup show.
Not only that, but we're also going to be getting Zack Sabre Jr. versus Will Ospreay in the semi-main of a New Japan
Which
Cup
was
show.
one of the best New Japan Cup matches from last year.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. I mean, you know, big matches.
We made the bold prediction, remember?
What was my bold prediction?
We made the bold prediction at the beginning of the tournament. We said, you know, this could be as close to old New Japan as we want it to be. Like, if they went the right directions, which they somehow have, our final 8 competitors are Tetsuya Naito, Jeff Cobb, Kazuchika Okada, Shima, Zack Sabre Jr., Will Ospreay, Shingo Takagi, and Hiromu Takahashi.
Yeah.
You can't ask for much more than that. You really can't. I wouldn't replace anyone.
No, it's a perfect lineup. It's a perfect lineup. And it's still like fantastic effort, fantastic work all around. God, we just had to get through all these buys. And then once we got through the buys, we got into the pristine matches that, holy crap. I mean, did we dare talk about, we talked about like the day of show without, you know, reviewing it. We just talked about the results, I think, last week, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about the results of night 12?
Do you know them?
I have them in front of me. Yeah. So we got.
I'm shocked.
Quarterfinal matchup. We'll talk about the one that's not shocking. Kazuchika Okada defeats Shima. Spoilers. Spoilers. So too late. There was a little bit of a preamble. If you know what we're doing, we'll just skip 15 seconds a bunch. Kazuchika Okada defeats Shima. Not too expecting. But then Tetsuya Naito defeating Jeff Cobb via roll-up. Whew.
They're running back Okada versus Naito again.
Not only did Naito defeat Jeff Cobb, we're doing Okada versus Naito again in a semi-finals of the New Japan Cup. A fan favorite with Jeff Cobb winning. Upset Central. Naito is out.
I thought Cobb was winning the damn tournament.
Yeah.
Now I have no idea, man. I have no idea. I think that's the best part about this tournament, though, right? Like, we have no clue what's happening. Does Okada win? There's a very likely chance that Okada wins this.
And then
I don't know, man. This is great.
Yeah, and then so that leaves us with Okada Naito in the semis, and the quarters still to go for tomorrow. We have, like I said, Sabre Jr. versus Osprey, Shingo versus Hiromu. Who is winning on either of those sides?
There's a chance someone wins their second New Japan Cup between Sabre Jr. and Osprey. That's a possibility.
And Okada's won it, I think, right?
Yeah, Okada's won it. Come on now. Okada's won New Japan. Come on. Come on, Ryan. What hasn't he won?
Has Shingo won it?
No. He got to the finals last year and lost.
Well, let's talk about this. Who's going to win between Osprey and Sabre?
I still think it's Sabre.
It's got to be Osprey, though, right? I mean, it's Osprey. It's like
maybe they want to run. They could want to run back Shingo and Osprey.
Wait, hold on. Okada, Naito, Shingo, Osprey. Holy shit! Whoo, baby.
Unless Hiromu wins.
And
I'm not counting Hiromu out.
And then Osprey versus Hiromu. I mean, we're all riding off Sabre. That's the same.
I think Sabre has a very good chance of winning, truthfully.
I think he does. Because then you can also do like a Rev Pro title challenge.
Yep.
Especially if you aren't going to have a US title challenge, you can.
Yeah, I mean, if anyone's going to beat Osprey before the semifinals, it would be Zack Sabre Jr.
Yeah.
Just based off of history alone.
Yeah. But
there's no bad final.
Boy, howdy.
I like
man.
Zack Sabre Jr. So,
boy, howdy. New Japan Cup. It's
I hope Hiromu wins.
the whole thing.
Yep. Or I hope they just do Hiromu versus Okada, and in the end, Hiromu fails in the finals out of nowhere, just to the dominant champion. I think Okada's got a real shot. I'm shocked though. We're getting Okada Naito a month after we got Okada Naito.
It's insane, man.
I thought Naito was going to be out possibly round 1.
Yeah.
Then round 2. Then round 3.
He's made it way farther, and right now he's close to the finals. It's insane.
Yeah, I don't think anyone was ready for it, right?
No
one was out here expecting Naito after already having a title match to just run the damn thing.
What if Naito wins, beats Okada, and then Hiromu gets all the way through in our finals? Hiromu and Naito.
I think that would probably be my preference.
Oh. Ooh,
Shingo versus Naito.
Oh, I don't care about Shingo and Naito. I'm talking about Hiromu and Okada. The match that was supposed to happen.
I said.
No, Hiromu. No, sorry, not Okada. Hiromu and Naito.
Oh, Naito.
The anniversary match that we were going to get, and then COVID had gotten. We run it back. Fans are back. We run it all the way back, baby. Woo,
I think it's possible.
Oh man,
I have no idea what's going to happen. I guess that's the beauty of this tournament, right?
I've hyped myself up too much. Oh my god,
it's all win-win. That's the beauty.
I need a cigarette. So, other news, real quick. Going back to the DDT news, Nakazawa in a post-match presser in the DDT thing clarified. The last time we had Takeshita over, but everyone's applicable this time. The entire group, DDT and Tokyo Joshi Pro. AEW is coming to agreement with them both.
Miyu Yamashita and Maki Ito are already going to the U.S. in May. So there you go.
Yeah, so basically what I'm saying is that to go back to that news item, DDT and Tokyo Joshi Pro will be heading over to AEW at some point.
Not Pro Wrestling Noah.
Not
because
Pro Wrestling Noah. No. For some reason, no one wants
cool
them.
Though.
Who was that?
I said Nakajima, please.
Shiozaki? Let's put Go Shiozaki won't be over there. Ooh. Go Shiozaki versus Eddie Kingston.
Oh, my chest, man. I don't know if I could handle that. Oh, it's already bubbling up.
Oh, that's you're having heart palpitations, man. That's something else.
All right, moving on because we have a lot to go.
That's true. Let's move on to Stardom World Climax, baby.
Ryan.
Yes.
Ryan.
Yes.
I need to tell you this.
Can you get even more hyped than what we just were?
Ryan, this is the most excited I've ever been for a wrestling show. And I have been a kid who has gotten excited for the Royal Rumble, who has gotten excited for WrestleMania, who's 6 months ago got excited for AEW All Out or Full Gear. There were so many. Well, Full Gear was great.
Well, yeah, I know. You were confused about which one was great.
Oh, well, they were both great. I mean, All Out had all that speculation of like the moments that would happen, and of course they delivered. Mm-hmm. But this is the most exciting I've ever been because I get the promotion that I'm fully invested in, and they're not only fully investing in us, the fans, with this 2-night show, but fucking Kyrie's back. I might get 2 Shuri title matches in back-to-back days. I am on cloud 9, my guy. So let's talk about it.
March 26th, which is this upcoming Saturday, we Stardom World Climax Night 1. We got full card here.
Stardom World Climax, the best.
Starting off with, we're going to go through the card here. Future of Stardom Championship match, Hanan versus Rina.
Yep. Sister versus sister on the Ryogoku Sumo Hall stage. This is, of course, where Hanan won her Future of Stardom Championship at Stardom Dream Queendom.
Mhm.
It's funny because I was thinking about it. I was like, wow, Stardom Dream Queendom, like we all said, oh, that's the biggest show in Stardom history. And then they said, yeah, bet.
We'll be back at Sumo Hall, and we'll be bringing in
And we're
Calvary.
bringing Kyrie.
Yeah, the Kai student trying to do Kyrie and Calvary. Anyways, keep the hype going.
Yeah. Well, okay, this is, you know, Future Stardom title matches, they get overlooked a bit, but I think this one has a chance to be. It's going to be, you know, 5-7 minutes, nothing too long, but it's going to be a special one for these two.
Mhm.
You know, when you have two sisters who are the future, two of the future stars in Stardom, it's definitely one to watch out for because Hanan is probably a year away from making the big step.
Mhm.
And you know, Rena's not, because Rena's 15 years old, but you know,
Rena's still got ways to go.
yeah, she's still very good already. So it should be a fun opener to day one.
Completely agree. Singles match: Saya Ida versus Mirai.
Oh yeah, this is gonna rock. It's just gonna be beef.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, that's the Saya Ida way, right? Like the
Mhm.
ow, that hurt. If you're watching the stream, you got to see that though. Mirai and Aida, you know, they're gonna probably wreck each other.
Yep.
You know, a lot of clotheslines, a lot of chops. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be really good. And that, again, it's probably not gonna get a lot of time because it's so low on the card. But I like when they do special singles matches like this on such a big show.
I do too, and I think Saida has been looking pretty good since her return too.
Yeah, that's tough for her because she's not winning this. No, this is the Mirai show.
Yeah. 6-woman tag gauntlet match.
This is just happening because
of reasons.
you got to get everyone in the card, brother.
We got Natsupoi, Himeka, and Mai Sakurai versus Mina Shirakawa, Waka Tsukiyama, and Momo Kogo versus Saki Kashima, Fukigen Death, and Raka versus Azumi, Lady C, and X.
X is Miyu Amasaki. So there you go.
Gauntlet match.
DDM never wins. I mean, never wins. Jesus Christ, they always win. They never lose, baby. DDM's winning. I don't have much to preview about this. That's what's happening.
Yeah, it's also a 6-woman tag gauntlet match. I mean, it's just, you know, what? How do I preview this?
Yeah, it's just, hey, here's a non-battle royal.
Yeah, that's true. DDM versus Prominence. Boy. This is Micah and Tekla versus, give me a moment, Risa Sera and Suzu Suzuki.
Nailed it. Nice. They are going to, one, Prominence is winning. Two, Suzu Suzuki's going to show out. I'm very excited for Suzu Suzuki to be on such a big stage. I think, you know, we've been teasing a lot of this rivalry, and we've only gotten one match out of it so far. And this one now will be the first Suzu Suzuki match. These are the two main stars of Prominence.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, Micah and Tekla make a very fun team. Probably Ryan's preference in terms of DDM members, which is very interesting. And I think Risa Sera and Suzu Suzuki are going to show a lot of people who may have not seen them wrestle how good they are. So I'm very excited. I think Suzu probably gets the win here for her team. Probably pinning Tekla.
How dare you?
I mean, you can pin Micah. Micah loses all the time.
The peps from out of nowhere. How dare you?
I mean, you could pin. They might pin Micah because Tekla's the SWA.
Yeah, and unless they want to do an SWA challenge, which, you know, they could.
True.
Certainly could.
I wouldn't say no.
I would say no. Goddesses of Stardom championship match. Hazuki and Kagama defending their titles against Momo Watanabe and Starlight Kid. Are we going to get a title change?
I think we are.
Me too.
I think we are. I think Momo and Starlight Kid, you know, I think Starlight Kid is a serious contender for Cinderella, but I think they definitely would benefit with having the titles right now. Yeah. I think Hazuki is a Cinderella contender as well, heading into it. And I think I think she kind of is ready to get back into single stuff. I have enjoyed FWC for what they've done, but I expect this to definitely see Kid and Momo walk out as the winners, which I'm excited for because I've been excited for their team since before Momo even turned.
Oh yeah, I mean it's it's not like a huge difference in terms of like bumping up to the up the ladder in terms of the titles. It's just the tag titles. But Starlight Kid, going from, the high speed and future of Stardom into Goddesses of Stardom tag, I think that's a good more of the ladder for her to go up that, does that make sense at all?
She's climbing a stair every single time, which is good.
We also have a special tag team match. Tam Nakano and Unagi Sayaka versus Mayu Iwatani and Kyrie. Former Kyrie Sane, Kyrie Hojo is returning for a return match. First time ever. Special
Ryan.
Yep.
I still can't believe it's happening. I really can't. The fact that Kyrie's not only back, right? Not only is she back, but she's wrestling. She could have said hi to Stardom and then left. She could have did that. She could have like, hi guys, I'm officially retiring. Bye. And that would have been cool. We would have got to see Kyrie.
Yeah, she could have showed up on some sort of talk show segment with Mayu Iwatani, and then that's it.
But instead, she is wrestling back-to-back nights. If you've watched her training videos, her back fist is going to break Unagi's mouth. Absolutely going to break Unagi's mouth. It's going to be glorious. Poor Unagi. But that's what she's there for. Let's not lie. Tam has the title match the next day. Unagi doesn't. Mayu has the title match the next day. Unagi doesn't. So I'm really excited to see Mayu and Kyrie. They've kept them apart interaction wise. They haven't had them together yet. This will be the first time we see them on screen together. And that's exciting. We have 2/3 of Freedom back together. Io Shirai, get your ass back over there before Kyrie hangs them up. Because I don't know how long she's going to be around, but I'm happy she's going to be around at all. Clearly Mayu and Kyrie are winning this. There's not a question. There's one name not like the others, ladies and gentlemen, and that is who will be taking the L.
Yeah, I can't believe it. I'm so excited. This is the Ryan Icey boy howdy match of the week in terms of the Stardom show. I mean, it's just boy howdy. It's so good. It's so good, man. It's just all four of these competitors are just very good. Unagi is just gotten so much better in the past year alone. Not even this year, maybe like 6 months, really. That she's just
it's been a really, really good 6 months for her.
That it's just what a spot for her to get pinned in.
The boy howdy match of
the week. Wonder of Stardom championship match. Saya Kamitani defending the title against Utami Hayashishida.
Ryan, there's few things better than a big Utami match, and I didn't know if we were going to get one this show. I really didn't. Let me rephrase: a big Utami title match. I didn't think we were going to get.
Yeah,
we got it. We're getting Saya and Utami, the rematch from All-Star Dream Cinderella last year. That was the World of Stardom title match. It will be in the same spot, the semi-main event. Saya Kamitani, I don't know if you know this, is a lot better than she was a year ago. Going into that match last year, people wondered if she was ready. Now she's the Wonder of Stardom champion. Now she is the champion, unlike Utami. And that's going to be a very interesting dynamic to watch here. They're going to kill it. That goes without saying. These two have great chemistry together, of course, because, they're tag teams and they probably train together. So that's obvious. When it comes to who's winning, right? You would think definitely Saya, but this is Utami.
Yeah.
So you kind of look at it, you're like, huh.
Utami won previously, obviously, in her title defense.
And they faced off in the 5-star, and Utami won that. Saya's not losing day 2. Let me say that.
Assuming
whoever wins
she's
this
champion.
match is not losing to Tam.
I don't think so.
Tam is not getting the title back. This isn't, like a WWE company where they just switch the title back. No. So this is the big match. I think Saya walks out. I think she gets her first major win over Utami. There's always the possibility of a draw, but I don't think they do that. I think she can easily hit a Frankenstein pin that she often does and kind of shock her. We saw a great near fall last year with that. So I think that's a way. Or, she can just beat Utami clean. That works too. I mean, that would be big time for her. But it's Utami, so you never really know.
Yeah, the draw aspect is interesting with both the Wonder of Stardom and World of Stardom here. Is that
I have no idea what they're going to do for both of these.
because I like the possibility of making maybe the Wonder of Stardom title do a draw here and then do a triple threat the next night, because then you can have Utami win the title and pin Tam, and everything's fine.
Wild. They probably won't do that, but that would be wild.
Yeah, I think because then you can defend Saya a little bit by not getting pinned.
No, I'm with you there. I mean, it would. They probably wouldn't ever do it just because that's how they work.
Yeah.
But it's an exciting thought,
yeah, I agree.
Entering Utami into that match. It would be different from what we just saw a couple months ago too.
That's true. So that's true. But I'm interested. This is. I feel like Utami might win this.
You never know, right? That's the whole thing with Utami.
It's Utami. It's Utami.
Yeah.
You can't tell me that she's not going to win.
If anyone's ending the Saya title reign early, it's Utami.
Yeah. World of Stardom title match: Shuri versus Julia.
Ryan, I'm sure you probably didn't watch the tag match that these two had this past weekend.
No, I have not.
But they did a shoot headbutt in a tag match. They are going to kill each other. They hate each other. All of a sudden, they have said that, you know what? I don't think DDM is going to last after this. They are calling tomorrow's tag team match where it's Julia and Shuri versus Mayu Iwatani and Koga and Saya, the ALK Memorial. Yeah, so they're just going all in the fact that these two are probably going to fucking kill each other, and then they're going to be done with each other. These two are, from everything I've seen in the build-up, they are going to tear each other apart. There's going to be headbutts. There's going to be dropping each other on one another's head. There's going to be slaps. There's going to be forearms. There's going to be everything imaginable that is going to make you go, oh my God. And that is exciting. Yeah. That is what we want out of this. If you asked me 3 weeks ago, I would have told you Julia's winning. I have now switched.
Ooh.
I think Shuri is winning this match.
Mm-hmm.
I think we are going to get my hopeful night 2 main event because they have also done the story that Shuri wants to defend the title against Risa Sarah if she wins of Prominence. And I think Julia needs to be in the Prominence match on day 2 because that is the one piece we are waiting for with this Prominence stuff, is Julia being involved in a match.
Since she was the one that kind of triggered the whole rivalry.
She definitely, it's all her.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that is the way to go. I don't think Shuri should be losing because I don't know what else I can say about Shuri that I haven't said in the past 6 months to a year. She is, her new nickname is I am the woman on another level. Pretty much that's pretty much what her nickname is. I forget the exact thing. She says it before every match now. But she is on another level. I think she should beat Julia. Julia can win the 5-star. She can win the title later this year. I think you can wait here. I think this is a match that gives you multiple meanings, right?
Yeah.
One, you start that DDM split
division, yeah,
of sorts. Yeah. I think this is the start, not the full on split, right?
Yeah.
You continue the prominence angle away, and then you have Julia have to work back a little bit. You know, she's gotten dominant again really quickly, but she's not fully there. So you could tell a story. And I think just Shuri should get a longer title reign in 3 months.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with what you're saying there. Is that, you know, I think Shuri for me, Shuri has not held the title long enough because she has plenty of more interesting challenges ahead of her. Julia in the I don't know, 8 women tag match with DDM versus Prominence. It feels very important for Julia to be in there, so it'd be weird if Shuri was. You know, Julia versus Mayu is not an awful match either, but I just saw it. It just feels like it. Yeah, it just feels like we're gonna have the tag match there instead for Julia, and it fits better. And you're right. I think, you know, and if Julia loses, then that makes her an interesting potential Cinderella tournament person, the 5-star Grand Prix person. You know, I think she can work back into it. She's already worked back into it, you know, after you know, working back from the Tam Nakano hair loss all the way back to here. You know, right. I think that's just part of also her story, is just never quite getting the red belt, you know, just never quite getting there with because of whatever reasons that are happening, whether it be injuries or, you know, what I don't want to go more into it, but you know, whatever else is happening with Julia. But man, this match would be great. This match would be fantastic. I mean, what's your ceiling? I mean, star wise, I mean, are we, you know,
it depends how they started off, because if they just go in to kill each other right off the bat, it could be anything, right? I'm thinking they hit 4.5. I think that's fair. You got to remember, Shuri also has to wrestle the next day, as does Julia.
That's true.
So you got to save some, I'm guessing, but you know, these Stardom girls, they don't really hold back, as we saw. I mean, Shuri to me had 2 4+ star matches in the same night just a couple months ago. So I will not doubt her. I just hope this isn't a draw.
Yeah. I don't think it works.
If it is, you can make it worth it, but you can't have this be a draw and then have Shuri beat Mayu clean the next day, right? You can't do that.
Well, you also have the 8-woman tag scenario, which is just like, well, what happens if it's a draw? How do we settle that out?
Yeah, exactly.
It's too convoluted for this to be a draw.
Yeah.
We're going to get a winner, and
that's only show number 1, and I think show number 2 has a better card.
Show number 2, March 27th on that Sunday, Future of Stardom Championship match. Hanan Arena, we believe Hanan, versus Mai Sakurai.
Ugh, fuck. I'm gonna be really upset if they give the title to Mai Sakurai just to get it to Waka. I'm gonna be really upset. I don't need it. I don't want it. I think Hanan wins. I can't. No, Mai Sakurai's bad. No, let's not do it.
Moving on. We have the Cinderella Rumble.
Oh, there's your battle royal.
There's your battle royal.
It is like a Royal Rumble, though.
It has this listing I'm reading has a bunch of names, and then it says and more. So I guess we'll see what happens. A nice little rumble here. Singles match, special singles match. The loser of the Wonder of Stardom match, Saya Kamatani or Utami Hayashishita versus Mirai.
I mean, hell yeah. It's exciting to see really either one in a singles match against Mirai. It's hard to preview this because like this is the match you and me were having a tough time predicting.
Yeah.
But I expect whoever loses on night 1 to win here.
Yeah. I think, you know, if let's say Utami does win here, which is who I'm sort of leaning to for the Wonder of Stardom title holder, then Saya facing Mirai here and getting the win, you know, nice little easy win back, you know,
also
situation.
I think people need to appreciate that they gave Mirai 2 singles matches on this show. You know, they're not high on the card, but they are both singles matches. That's more than Hameka could say. That's more than Natsupoi could say. Like, really, a lot of great wrestlers don't all have singles matches, right?
Yeah.
So that's my whole point. I mean, Mayu doesn't even have 2 singles matches.
No, she does not.
Hers are a little more important, but you get what I'm saying.
Plus, you know, you have Mirai probably defeating Saya Ida the night before. So she wins the night before, loses here. I think it works here.
I think she can lose to Utami or Saya and not lose too much credibility.
Yeah. So another special singles match, Hazuki versus Momo Watanabe.
Fuck, yes. This is just like, I tweeted out earlier this week. I was like, I think people are just kind of forgetting this is on the show. Like, they're just doing Hazuki versus Momo. And it's probably gonna kick ass. You know, they're 2 wrestlers that know each other. Like, they have the long history from Queen's Quest back in the day, and they're just gonna probably try to murder each other, which, you know, sounds bad to just say on a stream with no context if you're just listening to me now. But that's what they're gonna do. Hazuki and Momo is gonna be great. Who wins? I think Hazuki via Momo DQ.
Hazuki getting the win. Oh, you're saying by DQ.
Well, the day before they have the tag match, we're thinking they win the tag titles, right?
Momo and Starlight. Yep.
I don't think you have Hazuki lose twice. Well, I'm assuming Koga probably gets pinned, but
yeah, but then you have, you know, Cinderella around the corner. You know, Hazuki.
I also don't think Momo loses clean if she were to lose.
Yeah, a DQ is not bad. DQ or a draw or something is not bad. It's a cop out, but you know.
Yeah, well, cop outs are, you know.
Oedo tie, baby.
Yeah, that's the Oedo tie way. I mean, it should be really good though. It's going to be one of the more underappreciated matches of either day.
High speed title match. Azumi defending her title against Natsupoi and Kagama.
Whew. A little high speed action. It's gonna be exciting. I mean, Natsupoi back in the high speed division is always a win, right? Natsupoi is incredible. I will say she's probably the most consistent wrestler when it comes to every Stardom show. I've been saying that for a while. I know you're not a big Kagama fan, but she's gonna fit really well into this. You know, that's the beauty of the triple threat, right? Everyone's gonna have moving parts. I think Azumi walks out and still, as she should.
Yep.
But it's gonna be a lot of fun, and I'm happy. I'm happy they're getting a high speed title match on this show, because I always call it like, it's kind of like a palate cleanser in a sense of like, you're gonna have a bunch of serious singles matches before this, and then you're just gonna have, you know, like a 8-minute high speed craziness that you're gonna be like, oh well, I'm not taking notes.
Yeah, it's the WCW move of like, let's have the luchadors on the match.
Yeah, and it's almost always going to be good. So there you go.
Special singles match here: Starlight Kid versus Kyrie. I'm saying it because it's all in caps. Do we have
Kyrie's winning?
I was about to say, what are the odds that Starlight Kid wins this match? I could see Kyrie being like, nah, Starlight's gonna win.
What's the odds? They're not in her favor.
No.
I'll give you that. I'll give her 10% chance. I don't know how you have. I think she just turned 20. I have no idea. But either way, I think you're building Kyrie up for an eventual big title match, right? Somewhere down the road, against either Saya Kamatani or Shuri or Utami. I think the match of the Utami's the match. Like that's your match of the year in terms of just names alone.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're gonna have Kyrie lose right off the bat. I think by the time Kyrie leaves, though, Stardom, Starlight Kid does get that win over Kyrie. I think this is a long-term type of thing where, you weren't ready then, but before I leave, you were ready now.
That's true.
And it should be great. We're going to see Kyrie in a singles match. She's going to get one night to get the rust off, whatever rust is there, and then she's going to fight Starlight Kid, and it should be a really, really good match. I mean, Starlight Kid's having the best run of her career right now. So.
Yeah. So good.
Kyrie.
DDM versus Prominence. Shuri versus Julia. We're sort of saying Julia because it fits more. Julia, Maika, Himika, and Tekla versus Risa Sera, Suzu Suzuki, Akane Fujita, and Mochi Miyagi.
DDM. I had to give Prominence one win. They're not winning twice. I just don't see how that's possible.
The night before is the easier match to win.
Because I think a lot of people will understand like Risa Sera and Suzu Suzuki are on like that level of everyone else in Stardom. No offense to the other two, but they're not, kind of. So you just easily beat one of those two and DDM wins. Unless dissension begins.
Which would be bold. Maybe
I did pitch the crazy idea that Julia actually sides with Prominence and everyone just gets completely out of left field. It wouldn't be that crazy, but of course, you'd have to have Prominence pretty much agreeing to just be a Stardom wrestlers, and that's not happening. So.
Yeah.
That was just my fun imagine.
Yeah. Wonder of Stardom title match: Saya Kamitani or Utami Hayashishita versus Tam Nakano. Whoever's going to win the previous night is going to win here.
Yep.
There we go.
Not much more to say than that. That's the truth. This match this is the one match on either night that I'm like, really? Why are you doing this? I mean, you probably want Tam in a big match because it's Tam, but it's just kind of shocking, because they just had makes me kind of think Utami's possible because Utami versus Tam would rock, as we saw in the 5-star. But if they want to run Tam and Saya back, they go crazy, I guess. But yeah, Tam's not winning, so.
And then your World of Stardom title match, Shuri or Julia. We're thinking Shuri versus Mayu Iwatani.
Big match, Mayu. Big match, Mayu. No matter who she's facing, it's going to be incredible, right?
Yeah.
We watched Julia and Mayu have what I think is probably the best Joshi match so far this year. Maybe. I don't know how my rankings are. I'm not looking at them as we speak. But it's up there, right? They had a great match, 30-minute draw. They didn't get a winner. So you can run that back. Or Ryan.
Yeah.
Shuri has very few losses in her Stardom career.
Yeah. You're talking in general.
Yeah, in general, especially singles. She's lost to Konami once, but she's redeemed that. She lost to Izumi twice. She's redeemed both. She lost to Mayu Iwatani in her first ever challenge for the World of Stardom Championship. She has never redeemed that. It feels like the match you got to have on this night. And it feels like the perfect main event to close out such an event. Now, I've been saying this. I would never say no to another Mayu Iwatani run.
Of course.
Ever.
Of course.
And this is Shuri we're talking about. I was just defending how she should be champion and yada, yada, yada. Mayu Iwatani is probably my favorite wrestler of all time. So if she was to have one more run, I wouldn't say no. That being said, if Shuri gets past Julia, I think Shuri gets past Mayu.
Can I do my big galaxy brain, booking brain?
Put that tinfoil hat on?
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Shuri versus Mayu.
Yep.
Exactly what you talked about redemption for that singles loss. But also, if she is, what did you say? The woman above all or something?
Yeah, she's... I wish I remembered the exact nickname.
I'm just going to say the woman above all. I'll just say that. Then her defending in back nights would do so, which how do you make that, even more clear is having a title change somewhere in the Wonder of Stardom title. Right? Not that person unable to defend back-to-back nights.
I found the nickname.
Yeah.
I'm the world-class woman on a different level.
World-class woman, WCW on another level. So her defending back-to-back nights successfully helps solidify that name. which means the Wonder of Stardom, to me, feels like there's going to be a title change somewhere just so that you can better draw a difference between the two.
Well, that's the thing. I've been very set on someone has to lose.
Well, then I'm looking at, here we go. Ready? Here's the other big brain thing. Mayu and Kyrie did a little tag team match in night one. And you and I are also saying new tag team champions are Momo and Starlight. So I'm saying, why don't we just down the line somewhere do Momo and Starlight versus Mayu and Kyrie for the Goddesses of Stardom tag team titles?
I mean, I'm not saying no. Mayu, I think this has to be clear. I mean, Mayu in any title match is best for business. I just want to put that out there. I'm with that idea.
It gives Mayu also something to do, and Kyrie to also It's the same thing they're doing with Hazuki, which also makes sense if they're splitting them up. Then you can do the same exact thing with Kyrie and Mayu, basically.
There's a lot of great matches on the show. A lot of great matches on both nights.
Yeah.
If Shuri and Mayu happens, guaranteed match of the show, match of the month for me. Like, that's how confident I am in these two. If that happens.
If that takes place. Well, that all remains to be seen. Of course, Stardom World Climax will be happening this upcoming weekend. So go and check that out. How much time do we have left on the show? Well, we've been recording for over 2 hours, but I also recorded the whole intro bit of us doing the AEW TNT thing, the music. Yeah, so I don't actually know when did we start it.
Yeah, I think we still got another 15 minutes, honestly, at least. So
okay,
we'll just finish it out with WrestleMania weekend indie events.
Yes, so WrestleMania weekend indie events. Obviously, it's not happening for a full another week, or 2 weeks, kind of, I guess.
Bro, we got way too much next week. We're sorry.
Yeah, we're only a 2-hour show. We got way too much, so we're gonna do a lot. We're gonna do a little bit here. I'm just gonna scroll through the voicesofwrestling.com WrestleMania weekend full schedule and just talk and just point out some of the events that look interesting to me that I think are good talking points for us to have, Scotty. Or also just matches that I'm interested about, and maybe you might also be interested about.
Yeah, I only care about matches, my guy.
Okay. Well, what about this one?
I don't watch full shows.
What about this one? Thursday, March 31st, Glory Pro Wrestling is having their Cemetery Gates event, and the only match that's been announced or that's on this list, Matt Fitchett and Davey Vega versus Davey Richards and Rocky Romero. Besties in the World versus No Remorse Corps. I'm there. You're not here. It seems like you're not here for this.
No, I will not be watching this match.
All right. Bloodsport 8 will also be happening that same day, March 31st.
That's the show I'm looking forward to. Thank you. Yes.
Hey, man, I'm just looking at things I might be interested in, too. So this card so far has listed Ninja Mac versus Yoya. All right. Masha's... Well, I don't know why Ninja Mac is here. Whatever. Masha Slamovich versus Janai Kai. Alex Coughlin versus Slade.
Woo!
Weird that Slade is in a Bloodsport match, but whatever. John Hennigan, former John Morrison, versus Simon Gotch. Josh Barnett versus Jonah. Minoru Suzuki versus Chris Dickinson.
Woo!
John Moxley versus Biff Busick.
Woo!
And the other people that are scheduled to appear is
You're missing a match.
I am missing a match. It's not listed here. What's that missing match?
Mike Bailey versus Yuya Uemura.
Mike Bailey versus Yuya Uemura. Holy crap! I feel like I'm also missing a match because I remember that scheduled to appear is Timothy Thatcher, and I thought I saw a what that could be. But also,
for you.
Yeah. So Timothy Thatcher is also scheduled to appear, and also Marina Shafir is scheduled to
Royce
appear.
Isaacs versus Bad Dude Tito.
Sure.
Excuse me?
Of course. Yeah. Whatever.
Wait a minute. Time out. Why does it say Yuya Uemura twice?
Oh, he's wrestling twice. Bold move, Yuya. Bold move.
He's wrestling Matt Mikowski as well.
All right. But this show should be interesting. Minoru Suzuki.
Timothy Thatcher versus JR Kratos.
There we go. That's real good. That's real good. This match, I mean, it's Bloodsport 8. There's bottom of the card is typically pretty good. Minoru Suzuki versus Chris Dickinson, Josh Burnett versus Jonah, Moxley versus Biff Busick. That should all be very strong matches. Hennigan versus Gotch should be interesting. Ninja Mac is weird, but it's Bloodsport. Sometimes you get the grapple fuck stuff. Sometimes you get like solid violent wrestling thing. Maybe what if William Regal showed up in John Moxley's corner? That could be fun. That's a nice little blood sport, cylindrical storytelling.
Biff Busick versus Moxley will be the match of the show.
You're not even Suzuki or Dickinson?
That'll be great too, but I don't know if you've seen Biff since he's left
I have.
WWE, but my guy has been on a tear, and Moxley's really good at the blood sport stuff. So it's going to be one of those two matches, I guess. Barnett versus Jonah probably will be oddly good too.
I agree. Other shows on this date on Thursday, March 31st, AAA invades WrestleCon. Just quickly going over here, we got a top of the card. We have Psycho Clown versus Black Taurus. AAA Cruiserweight title match, Laredo Kid versus Bandito versus Flamita. There's a no DQ match with Pagano, Drago Kid, and Jack Cartwheel versus Sam Adonis, Gringo Loco, and Puma King. Does that mean Gringo Loco is part of the that faction, Sam Adonis and Puma King? That's interesting. There's also an NWA Tag Team title match, Mecha Wolf and Bestia 666 versus Aerostar and Drago. And there's other matches as well.
Pretty good card.
Yeah, no.
I like the first couple matches a lot.
If I was going to WrestleMania weekend, I would go to this show just because it's AAA. Like, when am I ever going to see a AAA show,
Right.
And,
I believe a lot of WrestleCon shows are going to be airing on Fight.
I believe so. Same thing if the GCW shows are also airing on
Which
Fight.
is great because there is one WrestleCon show that is out of this world.
That is true. A couple other stuff here, but I'm just going to skip it until I find something interesting. MLW is doing Intimidation Games, so that's something. MLW have a taping. Reality of Wrestling is also having a little show here too. Looks like they're saying that Rob Van Dam is going to be on the show. I'm sorry, what?
Oh, you can buy the $74.99 WrestleCon bundle.
There we go. Also happening this Thursday, Control Your Narrative Awakening, baby. Get into it.
Out of here. No.
Get into it. Nothing announced for him apparently yet.
Good.
Joey Janela's Spring Break 6 Part 1.
Anyone that goes to that show, I'm not gonna blame you yet because maybe you're just going out of. Maybe you're just wondering, right? Because we've only seen one.
Yeah.
But
I'm wondering.
Okay, so I'm not going to judge you, but I might a little bit.
I wouldn't go to the show.
No, I wouldn't.
I'm just wondering.
Yeah. If you're going, I guess enjoy.
You gotta take,
I'm not watching it.
Yeah. Joey Janela's Spring Break 6 Part 1. This is pretty much the main show. They removed the clusterfuck completely.
The multiverse of matches is at 10.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, this is
Supercard of Honor.
Hey, focus up. We're going through matches.
Sorry. I'm looking at the lineup and
we're doing excited. It. We're looking at the lineup right now. Spring Break 6, 8 p.m. What's announced so far is GCW Ultra Violent Championship, Alex Colon versus John Wayne Murdoch. As I understand, as they've been doing that rivalry for a while. Joey Janela versus X-Pac. And GCW World Championship match, John Moxley versus AJ Gray.
I'll watch that match.
Yeah. And I'm
probably
sure
not going to watch X-Pac.
Well, what's interesting, so
me too.
I've also heard, there was a while ago because of the Hammerstein that Nick Wayne wasn't going to be, at Hammerstein, so Joe Janela was going to do everything in his power to have whoever wrestler he wanted, and he wanted Osprey, and Janela was like, sure, we'll do that. That match hasn't been announced yet. Just saying. Interesting. The Mark Hitchcock Memorial Super Show, 9 p.m. on this Thursday. We're going to have Bandito versus Mike Bailey, Mark and Jay Briscoe versus Homicide and Low Key. We also got Biff Busick versus Minoru Suzuki, Other people announced for the show: Robert Gibson and Ricky Morton, the Rock and Roll Express, Jonathan Gresham, John Morrison, Tomohiro Ishii, Laredo Kid, Black Taurus, Ray Horus, Onita is scheduled for the show. So this should be an insane card when it gets fully filled out.
Yeah. So Ryan, this is kind of like just an overall WrestleMania weekend question for you.
Yeah.
Because we're in it. We're in the thick of it. How many shows do you think you're gonna buy? Because I'm looking at it right now, and I'm gonna want to watch at least a couple of them live. Like I'm gonna watch probably a decent amount after the fact because I can't watch them all. I just can't watch them all. I'm thinking Super Card of Honor. I'm definitely buying just because the AEW aspect.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple collective shows.
Yeah.
I just realized I'm saying this as if like people are hearing me like, how are you not going to buy them and watch them?
I would probably get the Memorial Show.
Yeah.
If I can get a hand on the AAA show, I might also watch that.
You can.
I know every year, and I know
it's on Fight.
I'm gonna go in on the deal probably with Mikey and Zach of Indie Waters. They're gonna review a lot of the collective, so I know for a fact that they're probably getting the Fight collective package like they did last year. And your boy is gonna get in on that deal. You know he is.
Well, I'm not, so I have to.
Well, yeah, I want to. Maybe that's something we figure out is that we want to.
Maybe we should think of some sort of package here.
Yeah. Well, no, that's also
the WrestleCon one. Maybe
that's something I've been also thinking about. Is maybe we can find a way to do like a count out fight subscription that anyone can have the login that's in count out.
There are so many matches.
Yeah.
Why would someone pay $13 to watch the Major Wrestling Figure podcast live? Continue.
Dude, Swoggle might show up.
He's on the poster. So
Maven, man. I like how we suddenly care about Maven.
Yeah, as if like use this big draw.
GCW Planet Death is also going to have a show at 11:59 p.m. Only thing announced so far is Reed versus Hoodfoot, Akira versus Cole Radrick, and Sadaka versus Jimmy.
What's it? Is his name Hookfoot?
Hoodfoot.
Oh, Hoodfoot.
Hookfoot is that's taken. There's also JCW versus LA Fights. You know, a GCW developmental territory thing,
or as I like to call La Fights.
Dark Sheik versus Charles Mason, Juicy Finale versus Big Vin, B-Boy versus Grim Reaper. So far announced. My girlfriend, you remember before we started the show, you know how Jesse was complaining that I have too many debit cards? Yeah. She just texted me saying, please, for the love of God, I'm begging you, get rid of all your old debit cards. I didn't think it was that bad. Oh, but apparently it is. This is on Friday, April 1st. There's the For the Culture GCW event. For the Culture 3.
Friday.
I got to Friday. Here we go. That's why I'm blasting through here. Hoodfoot versus Billy Dixon. Too Cold Scorpio versus Brian Keith. I love that look for Brian Keith. AJ Gray versus Darius Lockhart. Maybe that's a NWA Junior Heavyweight situation there. Shane Taylor Promotions versus the Hitmakers. So we have O'Shea Edwards and Shane Taylor versus AJ Francis and Ashante the Adonis, or whatever their names are. Also scheduled to appear is Trisha Dora in some capacity.
Did you see that Swerve was with them yesterday
at MCW in Maryland?
Yeah. I mean, you were asking last week, like, why wasn't Swerve going with them? He still likes them, I guess.
Well, he likes the money. He likes the payday, probably.
I am not watching the Hitmakers.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm 100% watching.
I know you are.
Well, I'm a big fan of Shane Taylor and O'Shea Edwards. Which, by the way, I don't know if you heard. They tweeted out, but it looks like Tony Deppen and Shane Taylor are not coming back for Ring of Honor. They haven't gotten a call yet, so that's kind of upsetting. But Just want to let that.
Oh,
let that
Tony.
Ooh, Tony.
Well, we know Joey Janela isn't either. So
also this Friday, there's gonna be Zicky Dice's.
Sorry. Per Denise Salcedo.
Yeah, you gotta get that. You gotta put that credit in there. You know, you gotta cite your sources.
I didn't watch the interview, but I did see like a lot of the quotes from it, and it does sound like that Joey just was like, "Yeah, I'm not resigning," but they never said anything to me, so that's probably why I'm not. And I was like,
"Yeah,
well, no offense, Joey, they've moved on from like." And he's mostly only been doing GCW anyways.
Yeah. I had no interest in watching the interview
I'm not a Joey
because
guy.
Denise tweeted out the big news item from it. So I was like, oh, okay. Got what I needed. Zicky Dice's Trouble in Paradise 2 is happening. MLW as Tekka Underground is happening. The only people scheduled to appear the only people scheduled to appear right now are Cesar Durant and Microman. Do you know who Microman is?
I've learned, yes.
Yep. Zello Pro is having an event. New Japan Lone Star Shootout.
Oh, I'm excited.
Happening on Friday, April 1st at 6
Are we going to talk about that next week or this week?
Yeah, we'll talk about it next week. Because there'll probably be more matches announced for next week.
That and Supercard
of Honor is happening this Friday as well.
I had no idea the New Japan show was live until like the other day.
Really? This one is live. Is Windy City Riot also live? I assume that is.
Yes, that is going to be live on New Japan World. I don't think Lone Star Shootout will be on New Japan World, though. I think that's Fight TV only.
Yeah, they might do the same thing they did last time, where it's like the English commentary is Fight TV. You know,
I will watch it on New Japan World if it's on there.
Also, that Friday, Gringo Loco's World on Lucha. I would argue probably one of the best cards for GCW's collective. If there's anything to watch, I would definitely say this. You got
Johnny Caballero.
Johnny Caballero. You got Psychosis versus Tony Deppen. Johnny Caballero versus Jack Cartwheel. A Lucha Extreme match, Pagano versus Sadaka, and another Lucha Extreme match, Psycho Clown versus Dr. Wagner Jr.
I can't wait for that match.
Me neither.
I thought you just said versus sciatica. And I was like, I'm pretty sure that's something that's really not good. Yeah,
Pagano's just going to be in the ring and his back is going to be in pain. That's it.
Well,
maybe. It actually could happen.
Maybe. Good.
Other stuff announced. Laredo Kid will be on the show. Drago Kid, ASF, Demonic Flamita, and Abismo Negro Jr. Along with one of the announcers, Hugo's going to be there. I think former WWE announcer, right?
Oh, yeah. Hugo's going to be there.
DFW is having an event. SmackDown, who cares? No Peace Underground.
SmackDown.
Impact Wrestling.
SmackDown.
Who the fuck calls their show SmackDown?
No. Who the hell? Oh my god. Impact Multiverse of Matches. That card's not fully announced, right?
I'm looking up on. Can you look up on Cage Match? Right on here, they don't have any matches, but I feel like they announced a match, or at least one.
Oh, I got you right now. You know what? I'm just gonna go to Impact's Twitter because that's probably a lot easier.
Yeah.
Cage Match fails.
Go to their website, and they'll probably get a lot of it.
Oh my god, what are you doing? Why do you tweet about your entire show? Why would anyone watch it when you put every fucking clip online? Jesus.
Scheduled to appear so far, obviously, Impact roster members. So.
Here we go. We got we got a couple matches. You ready for this?
Hit me.
You want to just preview this now? They have a full card for the most part.
Sure.
So we got a champ challenge. Deonna Purrazzo.
Baby.
Does her thing. She does her thing. So
wait, hold on.
Someone what?
Hold on.
The Ring of Honor World Title. Yes, she is not at the Ring of Honor show.
Yeah, that right. Is she not at the Ring of Honor?
She could be. This show's at 10.
I guess she could make it, assuming she's still the champ.
The Ring of Honor show's before it, so
the Ring of Honor show says it at 7, 8. Multiverse of Madness is at 10.
So
same area. She can make it, probably.
She could do both. She could defend the Ring of Honor world title. I mean, I guess they probably have to figure that one out.
Yeah.
But that it'll be champ challenge. Oh, right. Chris Sabin versus Switchblade Jay White.
Whew. Yeah, baby.
Ryan. Eddie Edwards versus Tomohiro Ishii.
Oh man.
They had the audacity, right, to put the Pro Wrestling Noah logo next to Eddie Edwards. Ryan, are you ready for this one?
Yeah, hit me.
The return of Ultimate X.
Yeah, baby.
Always good. And for now, the main event, because I don't know what the main event is. The Good Brothers versus the Briscoe Brothers. I have no idea how. So they must have to book that early in the show as well, because they're fighting FTR that same day.
Yeah. Interesting.
Tony Khan must be like, what the hell am I dealing with here?
Well, here's an idea. This is interesting. FTR.
I'm interested.
With the whole news about the Briscoes not wanted to be signed by AEW, what if the Briscoes go to Impact? Briscoes lose the Ring of Honor World titles, and in the same night,
funny,
win the Impact titles.
Alex asked me last night, who he doesn't really watch. He mostly just watches Joshi, but he texted me, or messaged me on whatever, and said, "What's the last good Briscoes match? I need to see if they're still good." And he goes, "Is it the OGK one?" I was like, I couldn't think of another one, so yeah, it has to be. He was like, "Oh, so they might not be good." I was like,
I mean, they're good.
When I put it that way,
yeah.
But it would have to be that one.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see what they do. I mean, they're fighting FTR. That's we only have 2 matches for that Ring of Honor show. That's wild.
3, I believe.
Swerve and Alex Zane. Right?
Yes. In the Briscoes' defense, they've been wrestling in GCW for the last bit. So,
I remember their world on GCW match, and it was 2 packs of ass.
But was that the Briscoes' fault?
No.
That's my point.
No.
Saturday, April 2nd, Joey Janela's Spring Break Part 6, Part 2. I did not realize.
Wait. You say Part 6, Part 2?
I stumbled over my words. It's Spring Break 6, Part 2. I thought Part 2 was just the clusterfuck, but it turns out there's actual matches on this show. So far announced, we have Chris Dickinson versus Matt Cardona. And get ready, strap in, boy howdy match of the week, Minoru Suzuki versus Effie.
Unstrapped. Oh, man.
I mean, Effie is a great seller. I think he's a great worker. But, of all people...
Motherfucker lost to Jeff Jarrett.
Get ready to bleed and lose to Minoru Suzuki, Effie.
I'm going to watch it. I'm going to be interested to see what happens. But
yeah. NXT Stand and Deliver will be happening at 11 a.m.
Are we going to talk about that next week?
Yeah, we'll talk about that next week. Okay. There's a bunch of other Reality of Wrestling is having a Sherry Martel Classic, where it's a tournament, right? A women's tournament. Here's some of your matches. Here we got Insidious 1 versus Promise Braxton, AQA versus Rochelle Rose. That's interesting. I really like that. Gigi Ray versus Hyan. What's that?
When AQA signed with AEW, and I haven't seen her since.
Yep. Danny B versus Vert Vixen, Kelsey Reagan versus Micah Madrid, Jasmine Allure versus Amber Rodriguez, Erica Torres versus Skylar Slice, Jordan Blue versus Heather Monroe. So if you want to see a women's tournament, you got one right there for you, folks. Let's go check that out.
Mission Pro doing one too?
If they are, I haven't gotten to it yet. Oh. WrestleCon is also doing USA versus the World. They haven't announced any matches yet.
Awesome.
Effie's Big Gay Brunch is happening right up against, looks like, Stand and Deliver. So that should be fun.
Who doesn't love brunch?
Who doesn't love brunch, baby? Effie's Big Gay Brunch.
Shoot.
3 or 4 at this point. I don't know.
The Mission Pro show has a good match.
We'll get to it when we get to it. Big Gay Brunch 4 is going to have Pretty in Pink versus Ashton Starr and AC Mack versus Main Street Posse versus Devin Moore and Brooke Valentine. Max the Impaler versus Edith Surreal. Jay Vidal versus Carlos Romo. Dark Sheik versus Pero. And Effie versus Pimpinella Escalarta. I think that's how you pronounce it. But yeah. Other people announced for the show are Polo De Mar, Kita Murray from New Japan, honestly, and Kid Bandit.
Cool.
A bunch of other stuff.
I like Kid Bandit.
There we go. Mission Pro Wrestling Bangers Only. Is that the one?
Be a banger on this show.
Is this the one you were talking about? Because this one, I don't have a card in front of me.
I got it right here.
Hit me.
Look at that. I don't know who some of these people are.
That's fine.
JP Harlow versus Ali Catch. Yeah, not a chance.
All right.
La Rosa Negra versus Jody Threat.
All right. That's pretty good.
Holly Dead versus Lufisto.
That should be a big Hoss match.
Bougie Reality versus Kylan King and Genocide.
Sure.
The Hex and Laney Luck versus Renegade Twins. Oh, I like them. And Jasmine Allure.
Okay.
Janai Kai versus Tasha Steeles.
Okay.
Masha Slamovich versus Lindsay Snow.
Oh, Lindsay Snow's back.
Yeah, and the match that I thought was the banger was Thunder Rosa versus Trish Adora.
Woo-hoo!
Yeah, there's your banger right there.
Yeah, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Holly Dead is also the Mission Pro Wrestling champion, so I assume that that's going to be a title match. I don't know if that's
a title match or not. It is not.
Maybe it'll get listed
per the graphic.
Yeah. There we go. I'm excited about that. What else do we got here? Unsanctioned Pro is having a show called Mulligan. Maybe not a great name for a show. WrestleMania Night 1. We'll preview that next week. I'm just looking around just to see if there's anything else interesting. Not really. Sunday, April 3, Black Label Pro is having a show called Norm.
You didn't say WrestleMania.
I did say WrestleMania. I said we'll do that next week.
Oh.
Black Label Pro is doing a show called Norm. We have Faces of Fear, whoever that is, versus Work Horseman. I think Faces of Fear. Is that... Hold on. Can you look up who Faces of Fear is?
Sure.
I'm looking at the graphic, and it looks like Faces of Fear is Haku and somebody else.
There's a lot of tag teams called Faces of Fear. Career. Oh, who are they?
So I'm looking at that picture. It's like, is that Haku?
I think I found it.
Is that Haku?
It is Mang and the Barbarian.
Yeah, Mang and the Barbarian versus JD Drake and Anthony Henry.
Haku is 63 years old.
I also saw earlier today that I think it was Effie versus Charlie Haas is also happening on the show. All right.
That's nice.
All right. Texas Mania is having a bunch of different things. It looks like I heard about this is that a bunch of like local Texas indies are getting together to do like one venue, the St. Jude Hall in Arlington, Texas, and they're just running it over and over again, all working together to make a bunch of money. So there's if you want to check that out, Texas Mania 3 is what they're calling it. Right. It's just a bunch of local indies. WrestleMania Night 2 is happening as well. And that's pretty much it. You guys.
That's pretty much it. That was a lot of wrestling.
That's a lot of wrestling. Going back to those bundles, you have the collective that will get you, all your classic GCW stuff. It's going to get you Black Label Pro, Glory Pro, Unsanctioned Pro, Mission Pro. That's going to get you all that stuff. Fight Fest bundle. Oh, I should say the GC Collective bundle is $139.99. The Fight Fest bundle, which includes New Japan Lone Star Shootout, AAA Invades WrestleCon, Impact Multiverse of Madness, The aforementioned figures podcast taping, the USA versus the World, and also the Memorial Show. That bundle is $75, $74.99. I would say that's a pretty good bundle, honestly.
Well, good news is that this year I actually have a job to pay for this. I can't wait. I took off these 3 days, right? I took off these 3 days to enjoy me some wrestling. I'm very excited. Thankfully, I'll have my podcast that I usually record on Fridays done.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much going to be on wrestling. That's exciting. Did we talk GCW Planet Death? Did I miss that?
Yeah, we did. I blew through it. That was the one of Hoodfoot.
Oh, okay. That's what I thought. Listen, you said so many GCW shows. I probably just
that's fair.
They all mesh together in my head.
I do want to shout this out though, because I think it's probably the most important non-wrestling event that's happening this weekend. Thursday, March 31st, at the Hamilton Theater in Hamilton City, Texas, at 8 p.m. You can get tickets right now to see live in concert Ron Killings. R-Truth himself is going to be performing, so go check out Ron Killings live in concert, baby.
This is going to sound so stupid. I completely forgot that WrestleMania was in Texas. I was just thinking of like, why is R-Truth in Texas? Like, I just want to get in on this indie stuff, and then I was like, wait a minute, that's the whole point of the weekend. So you're welcome. There's a great laugh for you that I forgot why the collective is happening where it is. How do you feel about? I think it's smart that all these companies take advantage of WrestleMania being in town.
I think it's a great idea. I think it's something that if you are a wrestling fan, it is a premier like vacation spot sort of thing of going, seeing a bunch of wrestling. I did the collective in 2020. We were planning, me, Mikey, and Zach were planning on going to the collective. We had our tickets and everything, and that was in Florida. I think that was in Tampa or Orlando or whatever it was. We were planning on going, and then things happen. Mikey was real excited to see Minoru Suzuki versus Orange Cassidy.
Wild.
Yeah, that was that show. That was that event. And then
Minoru's on AEW. Yeah.
Maybe, or Ishii, or maybe Tomohiro.
Time out. Did you say maybe Ishii or Tomohiro?
Yeah.
They're the same guy.
That's true. I think it's like it is like this premier spot. Like we were planning on going and everything, and then COVID pushed it back, and then we went to Indiana for the collective. But it's great. I mean, it's tiring, and you're watching a lot of wrestling, but it's a lot of wrestling, and it's great. And, not every match.
I like wrestling.
Me too. Here's the thing about the collective that you need to know if you're going. One, it's a lot of fun, but two, you gotta watch your voice. You gotta drink a lot of water because you're going to strain your voice on night one and not be ready and not have a voice the rest of the show. That happened to both Mikey and Zach. You can't cheer for everything constantly, or you're not gonna have a voice whatsoever. The other thing is,
can I be that guy that said a lot of the collective last year wasn't very good, and it's because they were in Florida and it was very hot out, and they did everything outdoors.
What was that one? Was that the one where Gino Medina like threw up or something? Was that Gino?
Yes. Yeah, they had someone puke. They had a ring break.
Yeah, it was someone puked. I think they puked on the Your Dose of Death podcast logo that was on the ring apron.
That is, no offense, kind of hilarious.
yeah. I remember Loren and I having a good laugh about that.
I think that's actually better. Like the it's disgusting, but
the other thing about the collective also, and just not just the collective, but the entire weekending. Like we just call it the collective, even though that's a GCW branded thing. Like the thing about it is, is like you got to remember is that these you're not gonna get 4 most of the time you're not going to get 4-star matches.
Damn it, Ryan.
Depends on the
That's
show.
all I want.
It depends on the show. But, you also got to remember, like, a lot of these wrestlers are taking booking after booking because they're making as much money as possible this weekend. So by time Sunday or Saturday rolls around, some of these wrestlers have wrestled like 8 matches in 2 days. So you got to remember, like, not every match is going to be great, but if it's like a premiere show, like I would say Spring Break 6 is, like a Bloodsport, like the Memorial Show for WrestleCon, even AAA, that's going to be pretty good, I think. If it's a premiere show, I expect people putting in work, and so those are the spots you definitely want to make sure to watch. Events that, like, if they're assigned to a company, they're going to make sure to work hard in that company.
Yeah.
I like it. But I've always liked it. I've always.
I'm about to be that guy that says I'm more excited for the non-collective shows, but that's always me. Yeah. I'm really excited for Ring of Honor. I'm not gonna lie. I have no idea what's gonna happen. That's why I'm probably so excited for it. I do want to check before we wrap this up. I want to see how their ticket sales are doing.
I saw it was in the Discord.
I knew they were doing great last time I checked.
They've sold over half, which is a weird. Yeah, weird thing to say.
They were on pace to sell out. How do I look at this? Is there a way to see this?
Maybe.
I mean, there's no seats available.
I know in the Discord, the Count Out Discord, which everyone should join, by the way. Go join it.
They've sold out all of their ringside seats, which is a good start for Ring of Honor.
Shawn posted in the Discord the WrestleTick screenshot, so I'm looking at that. WrestleTick said that as of this is 3/18, so 2 days ago, they distributed 1,100 tickets out of a capacity of 1,800 seats. So, and they had 729 tickets. So they definitely sold more than half. I don't know what what percentage of it is. That is 61% tickets sold at the time of 2 days ago. So, obviously it's probably sold a little bit more since then. They've announced the Briscoes versus FTR, which is AAA versus Ring of Honor, by the way. So since then they've announced that, so I'm sure they've sold more tickets since then.
Yeah. I mean, there is a difficult part, right, where they only have 2 matches announced. But Ryan, they're 2 really good matches.
3 matches.
Oh, I keep forgetting that Swerve and Alex Zane got announced.
But
I love it.
But also Swerve and Alex Zane is happening. So
I'm a massive Swerve fan, as you guys know. So I'm very excited for that. Now that you keep reminding me, I just keep thinking of the title matches. So
no worries.
Which is
I don't blame you.
Cool.
Well, I think that's it for the show. I mean, we're going to talk about a lot more next week as well. A lot of reviewing, a lot of previewing. Big show next week.
Wants the lineup, I started to put it together here for next week. We got Stardom World Climax review, which hopefully Ryan sees day 1. I will be seeing both, so I will be having to carry that while also exhausted. WrestleMania preview, of course, because that is the event of the weekend, even if we don't want to admit it. That's why it's all happening, to be fair. Without WrestleMania, none of this happens. So thank you, Vince. Just kidding. NXT Stand and Deliver preview, with the main event being Dolph Ziggler versus Braun Breaker. That show happens at 1 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. So that's interesting.
A matinee showing.
I did see. I'm actually looking forward to that. I think that'll be an easy watch, probably. I've learned recently that if you skip through a lot of, like, if you watch NXT 2.0 for like the very few things you enjoy, it's not that bad, because they do have some good aspects still. They do have some terrible things, but they still have some good wrestling.
That's right, folks. Scotty Edwards says that if you don't watch more than half of NXT, it's not that bad.
They're doing a ladder match, by the way. I learned 6-person ladder match. They also teased Rey Mysterio versus Santos Escobar this week. So, New Japan Lone Star preview. we will be doing next week. And of course, Ring of Honor Super Card of Honor number that I don't know preview.
Yeah, just Super Card of Honor, I guess.
I think that's it. I think that's New Japan Cup Finals, by the way.
Yeah.
Happens that Sunday as well. I'm going to try to squish that in before the recording. I think if we delay it 30 minutes, I can do it.
Yeah, we might have to delay the show just next week just a little bit so that one, Stardom World Climax Night 2, but then as well finals that, you know.
Yeah, we gotta get those finals, and we also
could split the work and you watch Stardom and I watch the finals.
Okay. Well, I'm going to end up watching both.
I know, and you also know I'm going to end up watching Stardom. So, but I'm just saying that in terms of the podcast, that might also be an idea.
Yeah. New Japan Cup Finals review. Man.
So we got big show next week. So if you want to make sure you're following,
we got to do the Cinderella too.
Cinderella tournament as well, baby.
Right, I think we just have to be prepared for a long one next week.
Mm-hmm. So if you want to make sure to catch it all, make sure you're subscribing to Ring Post Radio on all podcast platforms, wherever you get it. If you're watching this, live on Twitch, on YouTube, wherever, there's a QR code right there that you can go to and subscribe, whether it be YouTube, or whether it be Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, wherever podcasts are found, you can find us, Ring Post Radio. You follow Twitter at CannotPod. Join the Discord. If we can, you can continue the conversations that we had on this show on the Count Out Discord. There's a Ring Post Radio channel, so come join us and if we had bad takes, we had good takes. If it's something you said, thought of something else,
I've never had a bad take.
That's correct. Then go join the Discord. There's a link tree in the Count Out Pod Twitter profile. I'm gonna put together a bit.ly at some point. That might help. So I can just say bit.ly.ly/co Discord. Probably. I don't know. We'll get there when we get there. Scotty, what is your boy howdy match of the week?
My boy howdy match of the week. So I'm gonna give my one that ran away with it, but also one I think everyone should go watch.
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to do this now, with big weeks, because this past week and today and tomorrow are big wrestling weeks in Japan. I've noticed.
Yep.
So, which I'll be able to give more next week because I haven't been able to watch them all yet.
Mm-hmm.
But Miyu Yamashita versus Shoko Nakajima, the main event of Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling's Grand Princess in Ryogoku Sumo Hall for the Princess of Princess Championship. I think that match was fantastic. One of the best TJPW matches in history.
Ooh.
One of, not like they don't have that many, but Miyu Yamashita happens to be in all of them. Not a coincidence there. And the match that I think everyone should go out and see. I was praising New Japan Strong earlier today. I think everyone should go and watch Ren Narita versus Buddy Matthews. That was the last match I watched last night. Very good. Buddy Matthews is real. Did you watch Rampage this week?
Yep.
When he murdered Fuego del Sol with that knee, I leaped out of my chair. I was like, oh my God, this match wasn't supposed to be anything. And he just destroyed Fuego. But Red Narita is ready. Mm-hmm. If anyone didn't get that from the Shibata match, he is ready to go. And I think this was one of his best performances yet on Strong. And Buddy Matthews is great. I enjoy Buddy Matthews. I think he gets flack for no reason. I think he's very good. So definitely check that out. Oh, follow me on Scouty Wrestling. Sorry.
Perfect. You can follow me on Twitter at Ryan Knightsey. Sort of a chalk decision here.
Chalk.
My boy howdy match of the week. Speaking about boy howdy, it's going to be that 6-man tag from Dynamite. Adam Page, Jungle Boy, and Luchasaurus versus Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, and Kyle O'Reilly. Really good.
It feels so long ago. I forgot that happened.
Yeah, that was Wednesday, my dude.
Interesting. Nobody said the steel cage match. I'm not shocked.
Yeah, kind of a disappointment, and we didn't really talk about it too much, but kind of a disappointment.
I saw some people say it was a great match. I was like, no, it wasn't. It was fine.
Yeah, it's just not what anyone wanted it to be. And I think to be fair, maybe we have to stop comparing it to the the Lights Out match. I think that might have just been a thing in the bottle,
flash in the pan
thing. Because I do think that the steel cage match was the best Britt and Thunder interaction that they've had in all of their matches since Lights Out. But it's just none of it holds a candle to the Lights One Out. I think that just might be a flash in the pan, like you said, which is kind of a disappointment. But whatever.
But now Thunder Rosa gets to move on. Britt Baker will move on. We have a new champion, and that's all good and dandy. What a good show. Next week we might pass out because there's so much to talk about, but it's okay because the week after gets worse.
Next week will be the week after we talk about WrestleMania, baby, and we'll be talking about Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, how are we gonna do that?
I don't know. We'll figure that out later. This show's already long enough, so we'll figure it out next time.
Yeah, goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody. See ya.